Hello. Oh, that's you guys in chat. Okay, there you guys go. Welcome everyone. Good morning. Or is it morning for guys? Or afternoon or night? But yeah, hello everyone. So today we're going to be playing the game Remembering Emily. And I thank you to Tortita Studios for giving me a Steam key. The game out. Thank you. And thank you, Antonis and Scientist, for the membership. Thank you. Good day, have a good day. Yeah. I was asked to check out the game, and thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to play it. Yeah. So this is a short mystery, visual novel game. I don't know if we'll get both endings, but it seemed pretty good though, so I checked it out. Yeah, so this is a game where Emily's already dead. So you have to figure out what happened by retracing your steps in the past, the present. You find out what happened to her, why she died. Yeah. but yeah, I think everyone letting me have the opportunity to play this game. Yeah. I don't, because there's two endings to the game. I might just only stream one ending though, so that maybe it'll interest you guys to purchase the game and play the other ending. See what else is there. Oh yeah, I don't know if I'll stream today. Not today. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. I think I actually have to go somewhere in the morning for my job, so we'll see what happens there. If I do stream it, that'll be a really short stream, but if not, then no. But yeah. Let's see, let's go to the game screen. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Boom! There we go! So I have my detective outfit on. We're going to figure out the mystery. Maybe we won't, who knows? I don't know. Randomly just in the screen by accident. Go back to work tomorrow anyway. Yeah, that's basically me. Because I was sick for a while, so they're like, don't come back until you're fully better. So yeah, because I'm still taking a little bit of meds, so yeah. I almost forgot to take meds today before I stream. But I did, so we're good now. Yeah. And it's because I still have this like off and a bit of congestion left, so I'm trying to get it fully fixed, but there, let's get started. No, why don't we? So far the music already sounds good. Have you ever wondered if you're asleep or awake? Uh-oh. You're living a dream. Oh no, this exception. Okay. Hi Sevi, hello! Welcome! From that day, since Emily's death. Can't stop feeling this way. I don't know if I'll try and get both endings in this game, but traffic accident. Was it an accident though? An accident in the city center. 25-year-old fleeing was hit by a car while she was fleeing from her assailant. Thomas, are you alright? Oh yeah, the main character's name is Thomas, by the way. That's who we're playing as. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm ready to talk about it yet. Welcome, I will. Hi. Understandable, Thomas. Every time we try to get to the bottom of this, you find it impossible to continue. Oh no. I guess I'm afraid of looking insensitive, or that I didn't have any feelings for Emily. If you hadn't felt anything, you wouldn't be going through this. Oh, so I guess she's our therapist. Or would you be here? Would you like to talk about her now? Yes, I think I'm ready. What was Emily like? So the way that you get the two different endings in this game is that you pick two types of choice. They give you two types of choices each time, and Basically, which one you pick the majority of essentially determines the ending. Emma is a person I can never figure out. You can tell she hasn't had a good life for sure. And when I met her, she was suffering a lot. No. Emily was stunning. Every time I saw her, I couldn't think about anything else. Even at times when I wanted to escape from her side at all costs. Wouldn't you say it was love? I'd rather not to answer that question right now. Of course, let's go step by step. Never met anyone like Emily before, that's for sure. Anyway, Thomas, as far as I know, never had a great relationship with Emily. Oh no, complicated. You say that because we didn't spend a great deal of time together, don't you? Yes, exactly. From my reports, when you talk about Emily, you always point to really short periods of time. Oh, so she was in and out of our life. So far, we have only talked about isolated moments and somewhat abstract emotions about Emily. Still, I would say that time you were with her was not very long. Probably only a few months? Yes, more or less. She impacted you that much? I must admit that even though it may seem like a short time, it was very intense. It's interesting that you used the word intense. Intense in what? Wait, Thomas. Because of the excitement, the confusion, the anguish? How about all three? Everything at the same time with Emily. There was never a middle ground. Dull or nothing, light or darkness, absolute happiness or unbearable despair. That sounds exhausting. It was. It was also addictive. No. Oh, so that's us. When I was with her, I felt like everything else in my life faded away. In a good way or a bad? But nothing mattered more than the moment she looked at me. Well, sometimes the same intensity made me want to run away. Run away, you've said that before. Indeed. Why did you want to run away from Emily, Thomas? I don't know. Maybe I do know, but I don't want to admit it. Why don't you want to admit it? Because then I would have to accept that Emily wasn't just what I wanted to see in her. What was it that you didn't want to see? Thomas, I know this is difficult, but if you're here, it's because you need to face those feelings. You can't keep running away inside your own mind. I know, but everything still feels so real. What happens if she's not real at all in the first place? Okay. Because I have the feeling that there is something that eludes me. As if there was some pieces of puzzle that I can't see. It's something that at some point you wanted to do. You felt you needed it. Yes. I wanted to forget. To be able to forget, first you need to understand. Was it possible that our story was so short, left such a deep impression on me? I guess there are those people who are like that, right? Because emotions do not understand about time and the impact they have on us. Where I can see, Emily had a profound impact on you. She did. And perhaps we should go back to the beginning. Shit. How did you meet Emily? How did you... Oh! We killed her! And how did you kill her? Are you the one who, ran her over in the traffic accident? Just contact. That's surprising. The sky woke up gray that day. Cars passed slowly as if no one was in a hurry to get anywhere. That day the city had awoken earlier than usual. The cafe had a perfume of freshly ground coffee and wet clothes. Almost all the tables were taken. Steam marks from the mugs were drawn on the window panes, as usual. That day, something different. There she was, without a word in the world. Oh, I do like the art's down, and I do like the textures and how like you're looking. Beautiful as always. I've never imagined that such an absurd confusion would be what would lead me to talk to her. Americano with coconut milk ready, says that. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone approaching. Oh, confident as if she was going straight for the coffee. I didn't dig it too much. Go ahead and pick up the coffee, perhaps by reflex, or to avoid the awkward moment of having to explain to a stranger that she had the wrong coffee. Who ordered an Americano with coconut milk besides me? What do you mean? I didn't expect was that she was going to pick it up before me. Even less, she thought I was the one who was wrong. Not her being wrong, but thinking she's right. Sorry, that's my coffee. I think you're mistaken. What do you mean yours? They didn't call a name. and you came straight for it. Yeah, it's just I ordered an Americano with coconut milk. Exactly what you have in your hand. What happens if she ordered the same thing too, though? So did I. Exactly. See, so she's not wrong. When they said it, I didn't hesitate because, come on, who else would order something like this? That's true. I didn't hesitate either. Well, is that uncommon? I don't know. I don't really go to coffee shops much though. So when I heard it, I got it without thinking, and here we are. Oh well, great way to start the day. Someone trying to steal my coffee without saying a word. Not even good morning. What are the odds of this happening in your life exactly? I don't know. It's because there's so much orders, right? And they always ask for your name. I know this is a local coffee shop. That doesn't seem to be like Starbucks or something. You know what I mean? So I guess it could happen. I don't really go to local coffee shops that much. Or I mean, if I go to a local coffee shop, I don't usually order coffee. I order like a tea or something. So my bad. It really wasn't like that. It's okay. May have been a misunderstanding. Yes. There's nothing but a misunderstanding. Although it goes without saying that the coincidence is a bit odd. Then what happens if we are Emily? No, I'm kidding. As just an imaginary friend, I'm kidding. Quite a lot, because I don't know anyone else who takes it that way. Me neither. Up until now. Okay, sorry for jumping the gun. It's just, I don't know. Quite jumpy lately, and this has caught me off guard. I get it. Had been me the one who grabbed the coffee first, I would be like you right now. At least we have good taste, don't we? They do. So it seems. Americano with coconut milk. They did order the same thing! So I guess it didn't really matter who got it first, right? I would assume that they just call the name or order number instead of the order itself for a reason. Yeah, me too! I said, this looks like a local shop though, so maybe they just like don't care. And there's the missing one. Seriously, you're the first person I've ever met to order this. I usually get funny looks when I order it. Why is Americano coconut milk weird? Tell me, guys. The truth is, I've never tried it. Then when did you order it? I saw it on Reddit. Reddit. Reply on a post about rare coffees. Is it really that rare? I also ordered coffee with non-dairy milk too. So I don't know. I hate coffee. Yeah, I know. Yeah, same. I know. I do drink coffee at home to wake myself up. But when I go out to a cafe, I always get tea though. He might have suggested just this morning. Caught my attention. Was it really because of a comment on Reddit? Yes. I'm struck by whoever wrote it. Wait, can I see the comment? Is it his comment? Of course. I'm the only one who drinks Americano with milk. It is him, Thomas Stepp. You didn't even change your name. You don't use your real name. I didn't believe what I was seeing. This comment is mine. What? Thomas Stepp, that's my username. I wrote this months ago. Who uses their real name? The username on Reddit. Are you kidding me? No, it really can't be. This comment is why I'm here. This is too weird. As if Reddit's algorithm decided that our paths had to cross today. Well, their fate was met through coffee. Or as if you had left a clue for me to find you. Followed it. Looks like it. Guess I like trying new things. Nothing's the first thing that catches my eye ends up being the best thing of the day. That doesn't usually happen to me. I stick to what I already know. Okay. Yet you order this? You all have an exception. This is mine. I like that. Yeah. Exceptions say more about a person than rules? Guess they're not wrong on that point. Do you have any? I think this conversation is over. So I sit down to drink it. I didn't feel bad after talking to you like that at first. Yeah, sure, why not? I've said I was in a hurry. I just walked away. But something about her. The way she looked at me as if she already knew me made me stay. As if she's forgotten to tell a friend. Sorry again. I haven't even asked your name. Emily. I completely slipped my mind as well. Promise. It isn't the most common way to meet someone, definitely not. Is it indeed? What do you do, Emily? Right now I'm in between jobs. Doing stuff here and there, helping out with, well, things. A little bit of everything. I wouldn't know how to explain it very well either. What about you? You know, I should doing jobs like retail, customer service, shady stuff. I work in software development. Today, supposedly, I had to be at office half an hour ago. But it was super rainy. Like, or maybe that's just how the windows work. Supposedly. I mean, I was supposed to be there a while ago. Not like there's a parade waiting for me either. I'm not indispensable. I can be late one day, can I? I mean, the company's getting mad, I guess. I usually take things so calmly. Only when I have a good reason. This one? I don't know. Because I got a little carried away. Not so common with me. It's not bad at all. Okay, glad to hear that. It's not always easy to get someone to stay, when they clearly should be somewhere else. Oh, office! Well, that moment I got a call from work. Oh no, maybe you shouldn't have left. I didn't know where to answer the phone. How many times you meet someone and act immediately? Aren't you going to answer the phone? It's from work. Uh-oh. Lou leaned towards the phone with a serious expression on her face. Thomas? Yes, sorry. Uh-oh. Telling me you had received a phone call while you were talking to Emily. Right, yes. What happened next? Ooh. So this is gonna be it's gonna say first though. Okay. First choice, yeah. Okay, so they said the way the game works is that generally you should pick the top and the bottom choices are generally consistent in like their tone, whether it's a good or bad choice. So they said that if you pick the majority of this one, it should lead to one ending, and the majority of this one should lead to another ending. From what I looked up. Yeah, that's okay. Let's go. Let's try and go with the first choices. To run. I reply pretending to be sick. Can't answer work calls unless you're at work. That's what I was gonna say. But technically, he's supposed to be going to work, so. Okay, take it from there. I decide to answer. I can assure you, I was not willing to miss the chance to spend more time with Emily. Oh yes, I'm sorry. I feel terrible. I think I have a temperature. Stay at home. I didn't want to infect anyone. Are they gonna buy it? Sure, I'll send a sick note tomorrow. Thank you. Yes, goodbye. Problems? No, that's it. Got rid of that for today. Great! You know, you don't look like someone who lies. Well, maybe because I'm not used to doing it. Well, it doesn't look like it. A good thing or bad thing? Because you have to adapt to the circumstances. And the circumstances say more than anything else. Maybe. Any regrets? I don't know yet. Guess I'll find out soon enough. Okay, hopefully there wasn't a bad with that. And yet you don't seem too upset. I guess not. I feel like being here. I still don't know what exactly happened that day. But what I know is that time just flew. That time did not stop with Emily in the cafe. Not because of a post on Reddit. Weird, isn't it? Talking to someone like that all of a sudden. Without having it planned. Without having planned it, I mean. It doesn't happen every day. It reminds me of a game. What was it called? Adventure game where the character meets another character in an abandoned station. Oh, there's a couple of those. I don't know which one they're referring to. Not knowing why, they start to talk as if they had known each other their whole lives. Reminds me, there's an RPG Maker game recently. It kind of has a similar premise. The station I did Bridge of Nowhere? That's the one. I thought few people knew it. One of my favorites. That scene hits me hard. Same here, that's why it sprang to my mind. It was a bit like that, don't you think? Little, yes. The coffee in that game, it feels as if I've known you my whole life. Alrighty. You only know two things. Not something you say every day. Also quite unusual for two strangers to talk so much over something as silly as coffee. But a game that almost nobody played. Exactly. So for a story, it would seem like your typical excuse for main characters to meet. But are the main characters? Even though Emily's already dead, but maybe it is. It all feels familiar. as if we talked before. It's like, so how did they have the forgotten first meeting or something? I don't know, I had that feeling. I feel something similar. Yes, I don't know what you're saying, or if it's that it's quite rare to have so many things in common with someone. As if, well, the coffee thing for starters, not a very common choice. Maybe mentioned, not exactly popular either. Spent hours playing video games, although lately I just browsed too looking for indie games that attached my attention. Dang! Have you played the Forgotten Echo? How the ending when the character stays in the house waiting for the other person to return. Is this like all foreshadowing what's gonna happen in the future in this game? In this game, oh no. As far as I remember, he leaves the house alone in the ending, just as it starts to rain. Leaves without looking back and without expecting it. But really, I could have sworn it was the other way around. A strange scene, silent. We leave without expecting it. It's easy to get confused. Like any indie game, I guess. Played it not so long ago and left a really deep impression. Felt so, I could tell by the way you talked about it. As if I already know, it's as if I already know things about you without you telling me. That's a little scary. Little bit. It's also weird, as if we had this conversation before. What happens if they're in a time loop? As if you lived it before. Exactly. Not possible, is it? Be a dream. Am I so important that you can only imagine talking? Does it happen kind of right now? Help a smile within me. I think that being with someone like her could only be possible in a dream. It must be a coincidence. Or destiny. Maybe. I lost track of time. As if it hadn't been for what happened. But I surely have been there with Emily much longer. Doesn't it happen to you sometimes? Is it? If we're following the script of a movie no one had seen until today. What if we weren't? I like to read it. At least know where the story ends. Is this the kind of stories you usually read? Not really. I usually read science fiction. Oh, well, that couldn't be me. I'm more of a fantasy romance person. Also, the weird futures, and horror as well. The weird futures, parallel universes, things are the real confused with imaginary. Like this conversation, this moment, this coincidence. Can't say. Something I have the feeling that I'm not sure where I should be. What's your guys' favorite genres, by the way? I mostly read / watch like romance, fantasy, natural, slice of life, horror. But yeah. For movies, I mainly just watch horror and animated stuff. Very contrasting, I guess. Think about it. Can't say. Sometimes I have the feeling that I'm not where I should be. And where should you be? I don't know. Me neither. Just being honest, at this hour, I should be in a Japanese restaurant eating ramen. Oh, yummy! That's what I usually do on Tuesdays when I don't have meetings at this time. You like ramen? I like it too. I haven't eaten it in a while, actually. No, I have had it recently, but it was a white soup version of it. That was interesting. I usually have spicy broth ramen, so real thing, not the pre-cooked one. The pre-cooked one can be good too, though. Let's go to the one on Phoenix Street. I love it. Really, me too. Well, I used to go. What happened? You ordered the spicy miso? How do you know it? I had a feeling. You're starting to scare me. Relax, I haven't said I know your last name yet. You know? Nope. That's not my mood. I like a good horror. It's a good shonen fight. Oh, me too though. But comedy is a safe bet for me too. Oh, me too. Good. Oh, it reminds me. For Shonen Jump. I caught the Sakamoto days recently, and I've also been reading some of the new ones too. Harukaze Mound, the baseball one. I found that one pretty good so far. The baseball one. To be honest, when I read sports series, the rules just glaze over my head. I'm like, okay, I have a tangential understanding of it, but I thought the characters were pretty interesting. And then there is were the other ones again? Kitagami, which I did like the most recent chapter of it. The most recent chapter was really good. I like that one. And I think that's where Volume 1 will probably end. So, and then another one was Akiden Bros. It's like a long distance running one or something like that. That one's okay. It's definitely my least favorite of the new batch. And then the other one was Ping Pong Peril, which I thought it's actually kind of interesting in the premise wise. I don't know if it'll survive, but I think it's worth checking out at least one of the first 8 chapters of it. It's essentially like Kaiji, but like ping pong. So like, that's a really interesting premise for a sports series. No, really? No, I promise. It wasn't like looking at myself in a slightly distorted mirror. Except she was a girl and she was cute. Okay. Every time she spoke, I felt like discovering something about myself that I didn't remember sharing. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it wasn't normal either. Like another coffee? No, I think a strange one a day is enough. But if I order the same one tomorrow, I'll come again. What about your work? What if I order it every day? Then I will have to come back every day. I enjoy talking to you, no? I wouldn't have said that when you almost knocked the coffee out of my hands. Guess I have a hard time being myself, strangers. Today, I don't know. Because the most natural conversations are the ones you don't plan. Yes, and sometimes they're the ones that hurt the most when they're over. Oh, that reminds me. Also, special jump. Also, the latest each of the Witch chapter was really, really funny. And then, I've been also really enjoying Shinobi Undercover as well. I just finished reading the new arc too. Uh-oh! Is something wrong? No, I just hate that sound. I've always hated it. Sirens? Maybe I feel like something is about to explode. Uh-oh. I have to leave a long time ago. Are you in a hurry? Yes, I mean, no. Yes, I shouldn't be here, at least not so long. Sorry, really. It was an unexpected chat, but a good one. Hello, Sapphire, are you winning? I hope I'm winning. I will solve this mystery even if we only get one ending. Because technically these people, they said the dev said you should get both endings for the full experience and to fully understand what's happening. But well, hopefully we have time. But we'll see. A really good one. Emily, are you sure you're okay? So, the premise is that we're retracing our life when we are knowing this girl named Emily who died, and we're trying to resolve our past burdens and thoughts and regrets by remembering our life with her, basically. Fine, it's just I can't stay. Oh, and this is our first meeting in a coffee shop. And there are sirens, and now she wants to quickly leave, so I'm like, At that moment, her purse opened for an instant in front of my eyes. What? She has a gun? How many people have we left in her wake? I don't know, but she has a gun, though. Okay. I didn't notice at first. It was in the blink of an eye, but I saw she is packing some cold ones. A gun inside the bag. As if carrying that around was as normal as a lipstick or a notebook. I have to go now, but glad I met you. Take care of yourself, okay? And just like that, she left. And the conversation hadn't happened. As if she hadn't left me with 1,000 unanswered questions. I mean, I'm not saying it's like I'm not saying it's. I mean, it is legal to hold and carry, but like, I don't know. I feel like the gun is gonna be important. Thomas, how happened to make Emily leave the cafe? Honestly, I don't know. Everything happened very fast, but the moment she heard the sirens, her face changed. Do you think they were looking for her? Oh, that was my first thought. I understand that I was motivated by what you saw in her purse. Indeed. Well, were you afraid when you saw the gun? I did at first, but not because I thought I was sitting with a murderer or thief. Instead, because it seemed that everything she had told me up to that point might have been a lie. That the conversation had been a sham? Exactly. I was like a normal girl at that point. Then, when I saw that, everything I used to think of her changed. I carry her for protection when she's out. I do carry some spray. Even so, you would have wanted to keep chatting with her after seeing that in her purse. I'm not here to judge you, I simply want to help you. I would have continued chatting with her that day, hands down, even with the thing in the bag. The police come into the cafe? Yes, it was very weird. What? Huh. Maybe they were looking for her. They were driving with sirens on down the street. Then they parked near the cafe and went in. That's good. Hopefully I never need it. Exactly. I hope I never need it too. Did they see Emily? I guess. Passed by her at the entrance. Going out and they were coming in. Okay. This officer talked to the waiters and left the premises pretty quickly. Okay. At least it's clear that they were not looking for her yet, because then they would have grabbed her and when she was passing them. Looks like it. After the conversation, didn't you wonder why she was carrying a gun? Emily told me she hadn't had an easy life. Ran away from home when she was quite young. In the city without knowing they had been living. Emily was living on the street when she was a minor. Oh no! Didn't disclose any details. I was very surprised that she told me something so private when I had just met her, but she didn't want to go into it any further. Naturally, I respected her boundaries. Not sure I would have shared something like that with a stranger so quickly. I guess that means she was comfortable with you, right? Taking that into account, not logical to think that Emily was used to taking care of herself, and that she thought of the gun as self-defense. They said that we killed her, or that we're going to kill her in her mind, I assume, especially as she was a child when she arrived in the city. She was able to get her hands on a gun at that time. It stands to reason that would help her feel safe. Almost I have had all kinds of cases in my practice, and Emily's case is a fairly common one. Not with a gun, of course, but who had gone through complex circumstances, and their lives may even have been in danger. Up to this day, they cannot sleep without holding a knife or something that makes them feel safe. Aw. It makes sense, of course, but when I saw the gun, it was hard for me to think about it that way. Opposite would have been strange. Is there anything in Emily's conversation that led you to think that she had not overcome her past? No. We sat down in the cafe. I asked Emily what she did for a living. Remember you mentioning it? Wait, she did. It's quite lucid on the subject from what she said. Oh, is her job a shady one? Oh. What happens if she did kill someone? It was at first, but then I was able to find out little by little what her real job really was. What did she do? One could gather she worked in some kind of social services department. Oh, okay. Maybe she helped other people who had gone through the same thing she had. Tell me about girls who've been rejected by the people they loved the most, trying to help them get their lives back on track. It's clear that she hasn't been able to forget her past. But she turned into a positive thing in that aspect, though. As time went by, I understood that the gun was her only way to know that if something like that happened again, she would have a safeguard. It explained to some extent why she didn't want to tell you what she did for a living at first. Yes, so. Social work is hard. Even when she brought it up, she was vague about it. As if she was trying to open up to you through her work. Yes. The truth is that she was avoiding the topic, and I didn't want to make her uncomfortable. After all, I just met her. This is normal. Even so, Emily decided to open up to you, indeed. In the end, we mostly talked about video games and such. I mean, that's a good way to get to know someone, though. What did you talk about? She told me Emily divided her day-to-day life into video games, reading, and photography. Emily a photographer? Ooh, her dream was to be a freelance nature photographer. Ooh, cool. Hello. It seemed that Emily was a box full of surprises. When she spoke, it seemed like I was going to discover a new trait that made me want to get to know her more. Did she like her job at the time? When she told me, she wanted to move on from what she was doing. Now that we talked about it, and after learning what she was hiding, everything makes much more sense. Logic people have different ways of overcoming their past. In this case, helping others like her could all be almost therapeutic. Yeah. What does now do this fine day? Good so far. And now she needs to step away and that dramatic stage of her life. Weirdest thing is that she decided that photography was the best way to achieve that goal. Oh yeah. For anyone new coming in, we are talking to a therapist about our life with Emily, and the short time we got to know her, which was only a few months, how she deeply impacted our life, and how technically we killed her, I guess, or we're going to kill her in our mind. We let her go in a way, a weird roundabout way, and how we met her in a cafe. She carries a gun. She's packing. Why? Although I'm in software development is not my area of expertise, I think embarking on something like this without previous experience it's really hard to make a living of it. But Emily, from what you told me, was your soulful person. Of course, as we talked, she seemed to know a little bit about everything. You could talk to her about the latest indie video game that was causing sensation, or a scientific curiosity I'd seen on YouTube. More depression, I see. Well, I mean, hopefully it's a bittersweet ending where we are able to let go in a positive way. But you told me there were elements that didn't add up for you about that, didn't you? At times, like when we talked about a specific video game, it seemed as if she didn't really know what she was talking about. Like when you told me she made a mistake with the ending of a game, right? Exactly. You're exaggerating it a bit, Thomas. No, we can make mistakes. Yes, of course. Video games. Yeah. There was that part in the conversation where she was like, oh, it ended this way, but then we were like, oh no, it ended this way though. And she's like, oh yeah. So, maybe she's lying to us a bit. I don't know. The topics where passion gets the best of me. Maybe fear too. It is true that when I listen to passionate people talking about ideas or projects, I feel as if everyone was jumping into the abyss. I envy them for being able to do that, so maybe she was lying to us for whatever reason. Do you think that doing anything differently can put you in danger? Ever since I was young, I had tried not to stray too far from what it was expected of me. That's why I've always tried to take the safest path. Because it matters the heart that may not be the best. You can also make sure that you will not be rejected or loved. It was that feeling that made me think it could be my chance. And it was everything I could ask for and someone to share my life with. That's why despite everything, I decided to stay after the call from work. You were called from work. Why exactly didn't you leave? Didn't you feel that fear you were telling me about before? But it was because she was too cute. 16 months, wow, that's a lot of time. I keep forgetting! I know, you haven't remembered for 16 months. It's almost 24 months. Actually, it's almost 2 years. In October. Got it. Thought about it, but it was difficult to make a clear judgment. Amazing, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Oh, I think it was too perfect. Thought, what if your boycotts me again? And I will hopefully change it if I remember. Didn't you think you had the right to take at least one life in? Blah blah. Didn't you think you had the right to take at least one risk in your life? I can't read. Time has passed. It has passed. And here's to hope for many more. Baby. I think that I ended up taking that risk. And the opportunity to pause everything when you were called. You're able to tell her that you could not miss work. How could she judge you for that? Even to this day, I don't understand why I did that. Because she mesmerized you with her cuteness. Even when you knew that, basically she was a complete stranger to you. Dream baby is almost ready to crawl. Everything. Actually, they should be crawling yet. I mean, it's almost. I think I've been streaming for almost. This is my second year, so it'll be 3 years in October now. I think about it. So they should already be crawling and standing. When it has something to hide, something they don't show at first. In her case, what she was hiding was much bigger. Yes, it was, and yet I was attracted to it. I didn't quite understand it, but it was like that. If you're able to go back to that moment, would you act differently? I don't know, I want to believe I would. Part of me still thinks I would have stayed anyway. Something inside me wants to cover all her mysteries. If it means putting yourself at risk, what if it means that? I'm walking when I was 1, so yeah. You should be walking when you're around 1 or moving past it quickly, so. Something strikes me, Thomas, your way of condoning her. Look for positive explanations. Do you think that you had experienced something like this before? Relationship? No, never, not even close. Have you had many relationships? That really made a difference. That's why, because of that lack of experience, everything seemed more difficult for me to figure out. Do you think that influenced your decision to stay? I mean, probably, right? A lot. I had nothing to compare it to. I didn't know what was normal and what wasn't. Part of me thought, give it a chance, this might be your story. Your only story? Maybe that's what I thought at the time. Holding on to a story just because you're afraid you won't have another one. What is this game about, by the way? Oh, it's basically about, Emily is already dead. And you're talking to your therapist about your life with Emily in the short time you got to know her, which is a few months, how it impacted you, and how you're trying to let her go. And there's 2 different endings. I think we'll only get one though in this stream personally. If the game interests you, maybe you should buy it and the other ending. Because apparently you need both endings to fully truly understand the story. But I don't know if I'll shoot the second novels. I know, now I can see it from a different point of view. That very moment, it was all I had. Earlier you implied the importance of fate. I believed that if something was bound to happen, it would happen. At that moment, I said to myself, not sponsored by the way yet, maybe they did give me the Steam key for it, which I'm very thankful for. Thank you to this video. So yeah, they asked me to put the key, so I was like, thank you. What if I want to eat your pancreas? Maybe. No, she got into a traffic accident. But yeah, if you want to know, I forgot that. They did confirm how she died. The moment I said to myself, don't insist. Don't force anything. It seemed to be the easy way out. Oh, yeah! And thanks to you guys watching and supporting me. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm honored. Next day, I would face the consequences, but the moment I was happy. Okay. Every second, even when she left the cafe, waiting, thinking that maybe she would come back, that there would be another chance. What did you do the next day? I didn't go to the cafe. What? Why? She said she would order it again. Fine. I had to take some distance. At least that's what I told myself. But excuses, work, tiredness. The truth is that although I could try to justify what I saw, I was scared. Scared of change, I guess, I'm assuming. I was surprised satisfaction. I know, me too. I'm thankful to everyone who supported me. To get to this point, I told you, I don't want to take risks lightly if I start to consider them calmly. How long did it take you to come back? 1 week, a whole week. During those days, I thought of nothing else. Came back, did she not? Did she never come back? I didn't stop going every day, even on weekends. Were you hoping to see her? More than that. Going because I needed to see her. I didn't know why, but I needed her. Did you change your routine because of it? Requested to work from home, to spend more time over there. Sat in the same place at the same time. Every time the door would open, I would with her. Dang, you really wanted to see her. Thomas, I want to ask you something you didn't want to answer at first. If you're ready, I think it would be a great step. So I feel this is a check. I feel like Mentions are always comfy, so that any doesn't reach out. Thank you! I do try to have a comfy atmosphere. The game is crazy, but we'll see what happens. Ready? I think it would be a great step. Okay, what is it? When did you know you were in love with Emily? That's on the first day they met, right? I think that it was when she pointed that gun at me. What? Huh? Gun was relevant. Why is she pointing at me? I didn't do anything. Okay, it is gonna go a bit crazy, I see. Okay, we're freaky, I guess so. Bookstore. Brad Sanders, the truth. I'm convinced that I'm not an avid reader. There's one author whose works I eagerly await. Brad Sanders. I don't know exactly why that time I decided to buy his newest book at the bookstore close to home. It's been a year since the last time I had bought a book in a physical bookstore. I read everything on my cellar e-reader. And because I spent all day in front of a screen, I decided to step away from it during reading. I even wrote on the author's account that I would buy the book when I got off work. It's been a while since the incident with Emily. Had I been asked if there was a day when I was sure I had left all of that behind, I would probably have said it was that day. Just before I opened the door of the bookstore. Is it a real gun? It was a real gun! It was, I forgot to tell you. In the first meeting, she opened her bag and the main character saw a gun in there. So yes, it is indeed a real gun. She's packing. And as soon as I entered, there she was. She's there. The bell which let the clerk know the arrival of a new customer was still ringing when she approached. Thomas? That you? It's him. What are you doing here? I thought that I was wanted by the police? That I had fled from the city? I get that you thought the worst of me that day. We had barely met, and say something like that all of a sudden. Did you know? I left the cafe in such a hurry I didn't realize my bag was open. It would have been weird if you hadn't seen it. You don't have to explain yourself to me, Emily. I won't say anything. Sorry you had to see it, Thomas. I really am. Real enough, at least. It does look real. And she kind of missed to hear that it's real, though, so... When I heard the police sirens and got scared, I thought that... They're going to arrest you? I could be in danger again. I was carrying that because for a few years now I've been running away from someone. Uh-oh! Let's just say he thought our relationship was very different from what it really was. Oh no! And finally had decided that I had to escape from him at all costs. They had to run away from the cafe. Thought he might be close again. No! I mean, she did say she ran away when she was a minor though, so like... I'm so sorry, Emily. I had no clue about what was going on, and I confess that I thought the worst of you. Is he the murderer? Maybe. And they said traffic accident, but was it really an accident, though? Guess we'll find out. But I thought the same thing, honestly. I'm gonna apologize. How come you're here? Brad Sanders is my favorite writer, and he has just released his new novel. Really? Why are you so surprised? Brad Sanders is my favorite writer, too. Everyone knows him for the ethereal Mist saga. I think his science fiction line is great. It's really been a second since we ran into each other, and yet you've already left me speechless again. Really, if it's not destiny, it truly seemed like it. It meant that in that very second I was completely captivated by Emily. Once initial doubts had been cleared, knowing that being involved with her could be truly dangerous, it was crystal clear that Emily was one girl in a million. Someone worth fighting for, even if for someone as trivial as a book, a video game, or a coffee. Not the revolver. Everything's okay, Emily. You don't need to explain yourself any further. I just want you to know that it's always unloaded. You carry 3 bullets with me at all times, but if I'm honest, I've never had the courage to load a bullet into the drum, is it though? Do you think you would be able to use it if necessary? Truth to be told, I was hoping I'd never get to that point. I mean, that's what we all hope, right? Good thing is, if you buy Sanders' book, you might knock him out by throwing it into his face. Sanders' short novel is a complete Lord of the Rings saga. Just like that, Emily relaxed. During their entire conversation, she didn't seem to know how to hide herself. Now I felt that we were sharing the same feelings at the time when we were in the cafe. So, do you live around here? Fair enough, yep. More or less. I worked nearby and decided to stop by before heading home. Are you still working on what you told me about? Oh, that's similar to social services? Kind of, although I'm thinking about starting fresh. New York, Paris? I'm not going to help but smile. I wish I could. I've started an online photography class. Nothing serious, of course, but if we can develop into something more important, would that be nice? Do you feel like going for a walk and chatting some more? Only if you feel like it. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. Roger's going to say yes, because he likes you. My pleasure. Elizabeth bought a copy of the book, and a few moments later, we were walking through the door of the bookstore. It took longer than I can remember. Those things unimportant. Though she decided to take me to the park, and she points the gun at me. The sun was already setting. The people who were walking around were already returning home. Susan's laughter and the dogs barking were fading away. I looked at Emily's face. Staring at the park, as if she was the only person in the world that could see it. I still remember when I arrived in the city. Is that why you brought me here? I guess. I was only 16 and you didn't tell me much about your past before you came here. Cafe, you were elusive on that subject. I mean, you guys just met, so I mean... I wouldn't give my entire past away in my first meeting. I don't think I talked about it since I ran away. Oh? Yes. Theoretically, I can't say I had bad luck with my family. Everything a girl could have wished for. I had toys and food, even clothes that I liked. The only thing I never had was someone who loved me. Aww. At that time, I barely remembered my parents' faces. I only have 2 or 3 memories of them, and honestly, I can't say they are either good or bad. They're simply there, so I guess that's more like her family was just indifferent to her. That sucks. The episode of a TV series that had no meaning to me. The memory, although you barely remember the faces of the main characters. As for school, it wasn't much better. No friends nor teachers who cared about me. The requirement that I had to meet every day. I'm sorry, I really am. It's not your fault, Thomas. Parents worked a lot, and I guess having a daughter was not among their priorities. Simply met my needs, which was what was expected of them. easy with money. Wouldn't do it without seeing your daughter directly, huh? Go through all that, just being a little girl, it's not something you can easily forget, that's for sure. I mean, that's your formative years, right? I guess that's why we're here. I was 16 when I decided to change my life. Take the reins. If no one cared about me, I had to start taking care of myself. It was in this very park that I met Seth. Oh no! Guess Seth is... I think I already told you about him. Oh no! This was the one I was running from in the cafe. The reason why I carry a revolver in my purse, Met Seth, he wasn't like that. That's how it always begins. During my first week in the city, I used to sleep in this park. Aww. That's why I keep coming back here. Sometimes I still feel this park like home. What happens if Seth shows up here? Thing is, I met Seth one night just like this in this very park. What happens in this park right now? Yeah, he asked me if I was alone, and after learning a little about my situation, invited me to dinner. I know I shouldn't have done it. It was dangerous to be with a stranger, but honestly, I haven't eaten since the morning of the day before. I ate at a Japanese restaurant on Phoenix Street. Now I get why he told me he used to go. Yeah, that's a lot of Japanese food and got me to love it too. To be told, those are really happy moments in my life, and then he became mean and evil. The same night I started living in his house. He told me that I reminded him of him a few years ago and that he just wanted to help me start with his new life. Got a job, and in the end we ended up being together. Did he force you? No, I was in love with him. I guess you never get to fully know someone. Well, that's the story of my life. One day he stopped coming home for a long time. Huh? Okay. That moment I took the chance to go to the police to report what he was doing to me. Tell me about Seth's hidden life, a really dark one. What? Told me that as far as they knew, I could rest easy. Seth was not in town. What did he do? Was he killed? What I was told, Seth was involved in something gang-related and was doomed if he came back. What? Excuse me? But it's safer. Okay, never mind. It's safer to be in the city than to leave. Let's just say I had a lucky break, so to speak. Anyway, I got a gun just in case. And then you pointed at me? It was close to midnight and we didn't want to stop being together. GG's, yeah. We saw if there was any place open at that time to have a drink. And call it chance or fate, but the only place open nearby was the cafe where we had met. Well, we only met twice and we already had a favorite place. Played a vision novel in which the protagonist runs a late-night coffee shop in a fantasy universe. Ooh, that one sounds good. Not really. I have it on my wish list, but I haven't played it yet. When I played it, I wonder who could open a coffee shop that late. Well, here's the answer. Went from domestic abuse to kickers. I know! I guess they knew we would need a place for coffee. Americans with coconut milk. Punctual as always, and no fights along the way. We ran into each other at the bookstore. We didn't know how to deal with the situation, and now we both enjoyed every minute of each other's company. As if everything Emily had told me in the park was nothing but a triviality. Only before that you started a photography course. She did! Yeah, I want to quit my current job, and photography is something that fascinates me. I see some pics. Right now we're studying street photography in the course. Ooh, they're beautiful, Emily. I've taken several during this time in that style. I think this is definitely what I want to do. Art, real street photography? Yes, completely. First I want to explore other territories, but this appeals to me most. Doesn't marry making some money with him. Ooh, okay. Really? You're not that far away from your goal of leaving your current job. It's complicated, but step by step. The guys in the photo were one of my last jobs. One of more natural photos of themselves. They hired a session for me to take photos of them without posing in a more natural way. First time I heard about this kind of photo shoot. These are the ones that are being used in social networks. Oh, yeah, right. I've seen some shorts of people doing this, yeah. Posing what it looks like you're not posing. Yeah. Like any other. The moment the police siren sounded again in the background. Oh, stop! My heart shrank. I couldn't help but wonder if she was going to flee again. Promise, I won't leave you. You can rest assured. For a moment it seemed like Emily could read my mind. I didn't quite know how, but that's when I began to understand that I could trust her. And though you thought I was going to run away again. Not this time. Not ever again, Thomas. I promise. What happens if she does? I meant that for a moment I thought it had all been a dream. Something ephemeral. I kept talking to Emily. Which is life, yep. at least a few more minutes. Until that happened. Oh, the gun part, right? I can't help but feeling that since we ran into each other bookstore, I've been the only one talking. My bad. Not that I can tell you too much either. It's true that the plot of the Korean series you're watching is more interesting than my life. A K-drama series? Don't make fun of me, come on. What do you want me to tell you? What have you been doing since we met? There aren't any changes in my life worth mentioning, to be honest. That moment on, I highlight is that I started working Sundays remotely. Well, that's great. But yet most of the time I was working for this very cafe, so From here? Yes. Even knowing I could show up here? That's the reason why he was here! Emily, can I ask you a question? Of course. I said that you carry that in your bag, but I still don't understand is how you got it. Like in this country, it's not so easy to have something like this. Okay, not live in America. Live in America the entire time. Well, it's also Seth's fault. Seth gave you the gun? No, but for his work. What? Do you remember that I told you he was involved in gangs and stuff like that according to the police? I don't want to tell you a lie, Thomas. I didn't know exactly what he did for a living, but I did know that what he was doing was not legal. Uh-oh. In fact, it's thanks to him that I have this job. What? So you too? Not at all, really, but I did have contacts to manage to get me into it. That's why I want to leave as soon as possible. This job helps others. Girls have gone through what I have. I want to be able to turn the page. Is her job not really what she's saying it is still? To move away from here. But would it be possible for Seth to be dead? Wouldn't it? Police told me they're looking for him, but not much else. He had been killed was one of the possibilities. What happens if he hasn't, though? So why don't you get out of here? Might cling to a life that involves carrying that secret with you. Thomas, rather than still talking about this, really. Not everything is suffered because of him. You stayed here living as he wanted. Stop it, Thomas. Emily. Thomas, you have no idea what you're talking about. I know! You've only met her twice! Don't act like you knew everything about her past. I never intended to upset her or alter her in any way. I was just trying to understand her. I've never seen it look on another person before. Sensed anger. Fear. Suddenly, without thinking about it for a second, and pulled out her revolver. No! Think of an eye, she held it in her hands, pointing directly at me. I have no idea what it is to be pointed with a gun. Know that if the situation gets out of control, I wonder what the barista. I wonder if the barista is watching this. I wonder what he's thinking. Know that if the situation gets out of control, even just a little bit, maybe the last. That's when we knew she's the one for me. I love a girl who can kill me. Thomas, you're petrified when you got here. I'm sorry, I thought I was over it. It's alright. This is what we were here for. I keep wondering, how's it possible that she pulled the gun in a cafe without anyone seeing her? Exactly. It was late. I don't even understand how the cafe was open at that hour. Well, the barista nestled in the room. Did the barista react or anything? Also, the barista was cleaning and hardly paid attention to us since he gave us our coffees. Is that like real? I don't know. I don't know if she's real at this point. I understand. What happened then? I stared at Emily. Bum, bum, bum. Stared at Emily. I didn't know exactly why I did it, but I could only keep looking into Emily's eyes. I knew she was judging me without a clue about what happened. That's why I decided to keep quiet and not to say anything else. Sorry, I really am. It's just that in that moment, a large number of people began to crowd outside the cafeteria. Well, at least they didn't see the gun. What? Excuse me? Someone's shot? Remember, Alice, someone had been shot at that very moment. This game is getting crazier. I guess with the tension of the conversation, I had completely ignored it. The only thing I could focus on at that moment was that Brad Stander's book I had purchased hours earlier. What do you think happened, huh? I know! Guess they tried to rob him. It was already quite late. Although one way or another I felt that person on the floor. It could have been me moments ago. In those brief moments when Emily pointed at me, I managed to get closer to her. Even a feeling that I had fallen in love. Seeing all that awakened in me, the need to run away from everything, to escape from Emily. Thomas, what happened then? It's a hazy memory, but nothing. Nothing? I understand the body in the book. My memories are completely blank. Uh-oh, what the? What happened? I just remember Nita running away, as if an alarm had gone off and I had to get out of that place as soon as possible. The story is not going where I expected it to go at all. I guess say that's a good thing. Because of Emily? It's likely. The next thing I remember is being at home, as if it was just another day. With Emily? No. Huh? I said I don't remember exactly what happened. It was crystal clear that I didn't want to see her again, even though I realized I was crazy for her. So that was the moment you stopped keeping in touch with her. Yes. My reunion with Emily was almost like a dream, wasn't it? All my doubts disappeared almost the very second we started talking in the bookstore. Huh? Huh, indeed. How could you not empathize with someone in her situation? You face such traumatic stories. I guarantee you that it's difficult not to emphasize. Even for someone who does what I do. This is just thing as a gamer with normal bitterness without crazy things happening. True. It should mean that the weapon was the least of my worries. But I couldn't judge a victim for trying to stop being one. While you're telling me earlier about what happened, I could see your affection for her. When we left the bookstore, we didn't stop talking. Tell me how she discovered Brad Sanders, my favorite writer. I tried to read his most acclaimed works, but could not connect with them. However, she found fascinating his line of science fiction and superheroes, just like me. Maybe it's like a small thing, but these are things that make you connect. Things that make you feel unique. When you meet someone like you, it makes you feel a little less lonely. It's normal for us to be attracted to those who share misunderstandings. And when there are so many, as in your case, it even seems as if someone had designed Emily for you. Don't say that. That's kind of scary if you say it that way. Someone perfect for me. Thomas, since we started discussing Emily and you, something you've been quite straightforward about. How important social networks and the internet are for you. You even say that they are the origin of all this. Chat encountered through a post on Reddit. Constant search for people with your tastes and passion for art. Yeah, I was gonna say, he's kind of like desperate to see someone who found stuff in common with him at this point. Even with your best friends over there. Being that not being used to real life interaction makes you feel more vulnerable? Oh no, not like me. Maybe. I've often wondered if I should live less through screens. If I'm interested in a film, I ask about it on a social network. When I chat with people about a game, I know which subreddit to use for that. If I simply want to chat with my friends, I also do it through Discord. Didn't you meet them for a coffee or a walk? So just some time ago, I met them through Reddit. Me and William are my best friends, living in another city at that time. As a result, I may have been more closed off in myself than I should have been. Your life was just a click away, wasn't it, Thomas? I mean, that's how it is in the modern day, right? At this point, it's because everything is so fast. It was. Sometimes I realized that the posts suggested on Reddit or on T, or even YouTube, knew me better than I knew myself. Yeah, because isn't it like, yeah, because back then there was like dial-up internet, so you had to wait for everything before you could like contact someone, but now it's like 10 seconds. What I never expected was that Emily would take the leap to want independence from Seth. I mean, is that a good thing though? I expect her to have made so much progress either. Everything she told me about Seth. Honestly, I was glad she wanted to get away from that. I knew she wanted to make a living from photography, thought it was a rather idealistic thing. I mean, yeah. We were thinking the same thing at the time. The truth is that I understood that Emily knew what she was doing. She was taking classes, understanding what she was getting herself into. I didn't take a shortcut. Like watching 2 videos on YouTube and believing that she could do anything. Oh no, that couldn't be me when I watched someone cook something on YouTube. I'm like, I can do that. When I don't even have like half the materials. Also, when she showed me some of her photographs, it became clear that she had talent. Well, she already had customers, didn't she? She accepted clients for social media photography. Not only that, she told me that she had registered on several sites to get a job as a freelancer. Photo editing, retouching, things like that. Not seeing much right now, but according to what she told me, it was getting better. That's good though. Good enough to become independent of Seth in the short term? Or she told me it was likely, but then she's dead. She knew what she was getting into. Mentioned leaving the city, didn't she? Yeah, she thought about it, but she wasn't sure where. Believed that she could pay her own rent. It was much better to do it away from here, in case Seth came back. That shadow was always looming over Emily. Even when she heard the police siren that night. As she told me I could be at ease, I knew she wasn't comfortable. I knew she wanted to escape in any way possible. was so terrified that she could be carrying that gun. Yes. Still think I was no one to judge her. I couldn't imagine what that could be like. But the moment she pointed that gun at me, the whole world shattered. When the gun barrel right in front of me, it meant that in one way or another, I understood how she felt. I knew it had no ammo. She always had it unloaded, but she still pointed at you though. You never point a gun, even if you say it's unloaded, because it could be loaded. Isn't that the number one thing about gun safety that I always hear about? Even so, knowing that everything could end with a gesture as small as pulling the trigger, then that makes you rethink a lot of things. Are you afraid then? At all? Is that why you didn't move an inch? Didn't you feel anything? I felt a deep sense of anger toward the person who was doing that to Emily. Every firearm was loaded. Yeah, I don't own a gun, but I know that's the number one rule though. And love? You told me before. I don't understand how, but between the vulnerability I felt in front of the gun and the adrenaline, understand all that Emily had to go through during that time. I was even able to empathize with her more. Sounds crazy, but the moment I fell madly in love with her. Have you ever felt anything like that before, Thomas? And I love how this happened and the barista was like, I don't see anything. Being vulnerable in front of someone you cared about? Maybe. And the feelings I remember were confusing. When my Emily, if I had been asked if I was interested in someone, I think I would have said Kate. Ooh! Is Kate one of your friends you met on Reddit? They did mention her earlier, yes. I met Kate commenting games on the saga like a Yakuza on Reddit. Like, every time we were on the same subreddit, I felt like I could chat with her without zealotry. You know just how the internet is. It is deepen into any subject fanatics of all kinds of pure, that's true. I guess I would say I'm until when it comes to anime. I chatted through Discord, and that was more than 5 years ago. To this day, I consider her my best friend along with her brother William. You love her? I don't quite understand why, but I don't know. As if, by thinking about it, my ability to feel it has been blocked. If there was a firewall that would not let me access that part of my memories. Huh. I don't understand what you mean, Thomas. Sorry, the only metaphor I could come up with was something work-related. Don't worry, continue. I don't know how I feel about Kate other than that she's my best friend. Love can be contradictory, and even more so when you encounter adversity. Kate's case is distance. Emily's case, a gun in front of my eyes. I didn't mean it that way. Yes. After I signed up, I thought deeply about what I was feeling for her. Was I feeling like the one I had for Emily enough to let that go? Depends on each person or the real intention behind everything. I know, but think about how I reacted, and I think I would do the same thing again. Oh, you would? Moving to a new city? I knew what she was going through, but I didn't want to feel involved. Megan pointed at me once was more than enough. Did you see the boy who was shot outside as a red flag? If it had been me. Yeah, it could have been loaded, you don't know. Some of that with Brad Steiner's book. I guess interpreted as signal to run away. And for the reason you went to the city where Kate and William lived. Yes. Did she meet Emily in the town too? I had spent some time working for the coffee shop. Just that Emily might appear through the door. Thanks to that, I had managed to make my job 100% home-based and thought it was the best thing to do. Get away from it all. Knowing for sure it was impossible to bump into that part of my life again. Hanging out with Kate and William I could have. Normal life. You ever say anything about it to Emily? No, not at all. The next day was when I made a decision. How long did it take you to move? 1 or 2 months. It wasn't too complicated. I asked for permission at work to video call them instead of going in person on certain days. Since they didn't give me any problem about it, it was just a matter of looking for an apartment and that was it. It's not like that city was very crowded either. On the contrary, it took almost as long to move as it took the movers to give me the okay. In addition, Kate and William offered to help me look at apartments there. Look at rental websites and they would visit them, passing pictures and give me their opinion. Oh, nice. Understand, it was almost an overnight thing, yes. Okay, so let's go back to the day you arrived at your apartment for the first time. First day you started living there. Maybe Emily on the first day you started living there too? Is there something I don't quite understand? I didn't live with Emily. We lived with Emily? What? Excuse me? Dang! Move. Let's go. Let's go indeed. Gang, I know. He's getting his girl. The moving company had just brought the last of the boxes up to the apartment. I guess she's getting her guy. Since it was the second floor, it didn't take long to bring everything up there. Even taking into account that the building had no elevator, it didn't take too long. Not having no elevators. How long do we know her again? At this point, I think it's been like a couple months. As for the bread, the sofa and the desk where I worked, the rest of the furniture was already unloaded. Even Ray's egg and treasure fit in a few boxes. He has a coffee poster, that's funny. Can't say it was a particularly complicated move. I cleared the entrance area and kitchen of boxes. Organized the boxes around the room so they wouldn't get in the way. I ran the bedroom, which I had already prepared for my first night. Moving a little too fast, no? That's what I was thinking. You already moved in after only a couple of months? Or a few months, maybe? Maybe it's 3, I don't know. But the thing is, even in those first few months they've got to know each other, it's not they met all the time, though. In those first moments of my new home, I said with relief. Relieved to be able to leave it all behind. Relieved to be in a place where I was going to feel supported. Kate and William would arrive soon. I agreed that they would help me unpack all the boxes. In addition, the kitchen, and William had offered to prepare dinner himself. The street was quiet with no hustle or bustle. What? This is such a nice place. Conversations start in that city. At the very moment my phone rang. Oh, I finally get to see how Kate looks like. Kate, what is it? We're at the door of the building, but we don't know which apartment is yours. 202. Perfect. Seconds later, the doorbell rang. A new life was finally beginning. Thomas, you're finally here. Best cook ever, Kate. Rest assured that I will no longer use you as real estate agents. No problem for me. We'll bill you now. Oh, so this is her brother. William, don't be idiots. I was kidding, Kate. Thank you very much for your support. Without you, it wouldn't have been nearly as easy as it was. We were even more excited when you decided to move here. I don't want to be a party pooper, but are you going to let us in, or would you like us to have dinner in the hallway? Bill laughed and went into the apartment. I did above a bit, so we could sit down. We didn't come here to sit down. We're here to help with the move. Right, William? I thought we were here to have dinner, not to work for Thomas. Don't be like that, William. I'm sure Thomas isn't up to your nonsense after a whole day of moving. Alright, kid, I know he's kidding. Not that he's too good at it, though. Oh, that roast. What an answer. That was the one who was out of line. Anyway, in the end, you are 2 peas in a pod. I don't know why you're so worried, Kate. You can't help it having a brother like you. They all laughed. For so long living alone and not having this kind of human contact, the get-together was a breath of fresh air. Well, should we start unpacking, or are we going to spend the day chatting? Aye aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye aye, Captain. Really SpongeBob. In a couple of hours, we had everything organized. I was trying very hard, even harder than myself. I could tell she wanted me to stay and live here. Bittersweet, my favorite emotion, I know, to live closer to her. After all the complaints, William, did you say you were going to cook? I don't see you cooking yet, William. Now everyone is against me. How easy is it to tag a defenseless person between two? What are you going to cook? Well, since we're inaugurating the kitchen, I thought I'd do a culinary test of the apartment. I was going to prepare roasted meat with fries and my secret sauce. What? That sounds amazing! Oh, so sophisticated, I know. Yet I'm worried about whether I'm going to be able to afford this gourmet dinner. Cracking jokes from the end, the one who's cooking is me, so... Don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's true, don't. Who knows what may happen? Jokes aside, thank you so much. Appreciate your offer to check everything in the kitchen. If there's something wrong, it's better to tell the landlord on the first day and not a month later, and avoid future misunderstanding. Don't worry. You've left the mission in good hands. Even if he doesn't look like it, he's a great chef. You're too late for compliments. Instead nibble on it. Wait, Thomas, I have some bad news about the kitchen. I know that one Reddit story a friend told me about, like, this guy threw a steak out the window. Maybe I should do that. What's going on? You have a leak that's dropping right on the countertop. What? It's not much, in fact. It goes quite unnoticed, but it's better to communicate as soon as possible. Well, I sure have been effective in looking for issues. That's what I'm paid for. I decided to call landlord ASAP. I wasn't particularly worried about it, but I wanted him to know that I wasn't accountable for that. Besides, I didn't know how long the leak been going on, nor the problems it could cause. Exactly. Well, this is Thomas, the new tenant. I was called to inform you of an incident. Sounds like the landlord is Emily, that'd be funny. I was about to start preparing dinner when I found out there was a leak just above the countertop. Well, perfect. Thank you very much. I look forward to... Thomas? This said the conversation went really fast. It was a malfunction they already knew about. Upstairs, the apartment had a water leak recently. Maintenance guy had fixed it, but doesn't seem to have fixed it at all. What do we do? He told me he would call the tenant in 302. What if we to shut off that section of water? And that person was Emily, wasn't it? On Monday, maintenance will return from the weekend and fix a leak. Also, he said he would confirm when the 302 tenant turns off the water. It wasn't long before the landlord called me back. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Solved? No, apparently the person in 302 is not answering the phone, and it was Emily! He told me to come over and see if I could get him to open the door for me. You want me to go? He looked very tired after all the hustle and bustle of the day. Don't worry, I'll take this opportunity to introduce myself. It was the girl. And seeing that it's a recurrent failure, it's highly likely that it'll happen again. We're gonna get to know each other from the beginning. Looks like it'll be the beginning of a good friendship. Not just a friendship, something more than that. So that this is just the beginning of the end of the leak. I went up to the stairs at the end of the hallway. The 02 floor was right above mine, so it wasn't complicated to find. I knocked on my neighbor's door. I don't think I was prepared for what I was going to find behind it. It's Emily! Emily? It is! Confess that as soon as I saw her, I felt the need to run away. Not to look back. But she was the same person I ended up falling in love with. If that happened while she was pointing a gun at me. It's a rare thing. I didn't expect you to come see me. How did you know where I lived? I didn't know. I just moved down here and there's a leak in your plumbing. The landlord told me to come upstairs and see if he could turn off the water. So, do you live below? All this, I didn't expect to see you here. Neither do I, Thomas. I'm sorry I had to go through all that. I didn't mean to. Always something I didn't want to admit, and the situation eventually got the worst of me. I don't know what to say. Yeah, a really awkward moment when you pointed a gun at me. Just one thing. You help me to cut the water? Recently, the maintenance guy came and told me where the valve was, but I can't close it. Of course. I went into Emily's house. Told me that when the water was shut off, where the water shut off valve was, I quickly closed it. No one spoke during the whole thing. Yeah, because of how awkward it is. Neither she nor me. Thank you, Thomas. It's alright. The landlord told me that the maintenance would come on Monday to fix the issue. Okay. Thank you. Okay. See you soon. Wait! Thomas! Thomas! Need to know, I left the town because of you. What do you mean? They had this exact same thought. I remember in that alley and we saw that kid on the ground. I saw what I could have done to you. Not like that, Thomas. That's why I ran out without even saying goodbye. Went home, gathered my things, and went to some friends. I started working the next day in a photography studio. They didn't need anybody, but they did me a favor. Known to Seth? No, it was my friend's studio. I spent 2 weeks taking passport photos. Nothing serious. Shortly after, I got a call from the police station. Seth was back. Oh no! So I moved to another city. Exactly. He's back. Next day I arrived here with the clothes on my back. I stayed in a hostel for a few days, but soon after I got this apartment. I'm really sorry. After hearing all that, the same feelings I had that day, I met her in the cafeteria came back. I guess I could ask someone who had been through so much to suddenly change through. I lived through a traumatic moment and that had ended in nothing. She had to live the very thing every day for the last years. That needs to go. He needs to get got by someone. As preferably not Emily, because I don't want her to use it again. And you, did you get a job? More or less. I continued to do photo retouching assignments from home. Oh, there seems to be a lot of demand here for social media photo shoots. Oh, that's good. Thanks to assignments I received from a photography app, I can cover my expenses. I'm really glad. Emily, do you have any plans now? Beyond having to buy a few bottles of water, a little else. My friends and I are celebrating my moving. Would you like to come to dinner? Conversation for leaving you without water the whole weekend. Are you sure, Thomas? don't want to be a burden. You're not, really. And now shouldn't meet the friends. I went down to my apartment. As I thought about what I was going to tell my friends about Emily. Meet Emily. We're Kate and William. Nice to meet you. I'm interrupting your housewarming party. Don't worry at all. More the merrier. Let me ask you something. Who are you? You already know Thomas? It was a romantic crush worthy of Hollywood. This is a story definitely worthy of Hollywood. Boy and girls are neighbors, and by an important coincidence, a legendary love begins. William, don't be like that. Don't worry. I confess that I would have said something like that if I were you. You're with a good sense of humor. Emily's a friend from my old hometown. I hadn't spoken for a while, and by chance she's now my upstairs neighbor. What a coincidence. Too much, I'd say. I knew about Emily. She didn't know everything, but she knew she had been someone quite important in my life. Oh, so he did tell Kate a little bit about her. Okay. Or not to worry her. I had never told her about the weapon, but I knew I didn't see my memories of her through rose-colored glasses. This is really how with the idea that's going on. What do you mean? Well, shall we sit at the table? Everything's already prepared. Like an extra portion for Emily. Yippee! Good thing that I like to prepare food for several days. He set out silverware and glasses and sat down at the dining room table. What do you do, Emily? Well, I just started to dedicate myself to photography. That's interesting. Is that why you moved here? Not exactly. I really wanted to start fresh. What about you? I work with Thomas as a programmer at the same company. And William? Honestly, I don't know. What do you mean? I don't be mean to me, Kate. I'm a video game developer. My brother made a game that became the most viral for a week. Ooh. Gamers and YouTubers did nothing else worldwide during that week but play my game. Oh, he's an accomplished guy, see? Maybe you know it. Electrician Simulator. Apparently I can't say that word for some reason. Did you make that game? I bought it when it came out to play with some friends online. Thank you, I hope you had a good time. The thing is that after that week, nobody remembers that game anymore, but of course. They made quite a lot of money thanks to the sale of his first game. I mean, that's what you need, that's all you need, right? You take 2 sabbaticals? What? Yeah, my next game. He is very strict with me. Or not enough. You always take her side. I've already decided that next time I will not defend you. By the way, Thomas, and I won't defend you in court either. No kidding. By the way, Thomas, you had never told me about Emily before. Well, I knew the only woman in your life was Kate. Oh. Were you trying to set the show? Enough, William. Okay. Emily and I met my chance at a cafe. But a couple of times. I guess it just didn't come up. So, do we have to worry, Emily? What are your intentions with her, Thomas? Emily smiled. I think it was the first time I saw such a relaxed and carefree smile since I met her. So far, my plans to flip his apartment have been dashed. Otherwise, I hadn't thought about it yet. We all laughed, except for Kate, who, as Emily had arrived, Kate had been extremely quiet. Also because she didn't feel entirely comfortable with Emily. And what's it like working with Thomas, Kate? Well, it's not like we're side by side for very long either. In the end, everyone works from home and we only talk a little through the work app. I thought you had a close relationship at work. No, not so much. And are you adjusting to the city, Emily? When I arrived, I was a little lost. I think I've already all settled in. And even more now. Even more so now that I know Thomas is downstairs. I didn't know Emily well enough. What's more, it had always been just the 2 of us, and I didn't know what she was like in a more relaxed situation. I meant that as I chatted with Kate, life is hard. It is indeed hard. Especially for the characters in the story. It's like she was trying to provoke her somehow. What? Don't get your hopes up. Thomas has set up programming in video games. This isn't much help. A moment ago, he was avoiding a flood in the apartment below mine. I was just turning off a valve, Emily. It's no big deal. One thing is that it was you the one there to do it. Don't you think? I guess. Guess so. You've known each other your whole lives? No. Years ago we started chatting on Reddit, and little by little we grew to trust each other. And now, you're like siblings, aren't you? Until you really trust each other. Siblings! What happens if Kate does have feelings for us? People say life is difficult, life is clear first, I say life sucks. Well, hopefully you see life a bit more positively. I mean, I need to do that too, though. Yeah, I guess so. Kate, what's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm just a bit tired. Here was I giving her the 3rd degree. How about a drink to get our spirits back up? Did I say something wrong, Thomas? I think it's just that... Don't you remember well what happened? I'm not sure. I don't remember, Thomas. What happens is we drank and then we woke up with Emily next to us. What happened next? I'm gonna hold to get something to drink. I took out a drink to relax the atmosphere. Let's just say that's each option. I don't really know if it matters, but... Here we go. Emily went to go get a drink. I think it's a fantastic idea, William. Go to my apartment as I have one that I'm sure you'll love. Don't worry, Emily. I have something here. Least I can do, since I think I made Kate uncomfortable. I'm very sorry, I really am. I feel like they matter. Yeah. It was nothing, Emily. I'm just tired, that's all. I said I'm going for the drink. Within minutes, Emily arrives with a bottle in her hands. I poured the liquor into some glass that I took out of the pantry and toasted. Won't you drink, Emily? I can't right now. I have a bit of a cold and can't mix medication with alcohol. I think this was an important story branch. I really feel like this one was important. Hopefully, I didn't mess something up. It was delicious all the same. But you'll tell me where you got it from. I'll take the secret to my grave. Did you steal it from Seth's house or something? I laughed, and just months later, Kate and William started yawning. I don't think I have any stamina left. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired too. We should get going. Say goodbye to William and Kate. He could barely stand up, though. I guess that after the whole day of moving, our stand was starting to run low. I was really tired. Would you like me to walk you to your room? Turns out we were the ones that killed Emily. Maybe. Don't worry, Emily. I'm fine. Thomas, you almost bumped the couch just now. Come on, I'll help you. With difficulty, Emily carried me to my bedroom where she laid me down. At that moment, Emily rolled onto her back and removed her shirt and pants. Whoa! Wait, what's happening? Emily was next to me on the bed in her underwear. What? I could hardly do anything. Emily, what are you doing? Can I show this on YouTube? I thought it would be a nice way to end the night. Emily, I think you're not thinking straight. I invited you to dinner, but with no hidden agenda. Even less for this. Kids, look away. I know, Liz, look away, look away. I thought we felt the same way. Yo, underwear. Should I cover it up? Is this safe for YouTube? Okay, I'll just do this. Is this okay? Okay, well, if this gets partially demonetized, you know why. Thought we felt the same way. I almost thought she was gonna be polite, I guess. So, thought you liked me, Emily. Since I met you, everything's been really complicated. First, I have feelings for you. That's obvious. You can ignore everything that happened since we met. Makes it work worse. Actually, it does. Okay, I think I'll stop. It does make it look worse. Look worse. It does make it look worse. I guess to that thing, and like they did the same thing in Fire Emblem, where okay, in Fire Emblem Awakening, there was this DLC where they try to censor the swimsuits, but then they made everything covered by a curtain and made it look worse than it was like actually was. Okay, but it's the same thing. Can ignore everything that happened since we met. Do you think I've forgotten? And all this time I have had a hard time trusting anyone, and those who are supposed to be my friends. I was always on the lookout in case they might be collaborating with Seth. One day some idiot tried to take a coffee from me in a coffee shop. Without hardly understanding why, the idiot is the only one I can trust. Hey! What are you calling me an idiot for? Even love. Emily. Don't worry, Thomas, I'm leaving. Emily, wait. That's that I feel the same way about you. Even when you took that out of the bag. I'm sorry, I really am. I understand what you wanted to show me. Your helplessness. It's something I had a hard time letting go. Thomas, I had moved into a new city. I was so afraid that Seth might follow me, I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I really wanted to start a new life. I didn't even plan to see you again, no matter how much it hurt. Just when I thought I could start fresh, she knocked on the door. That's not destiny. I also don't know what else could be. At that moment, Emily approached me. Started kissing me. Finally, ended up spending the night together. And told me this before, but I still understand how she made you feel. I ended up having an intimate relationship with Emily. Choo, 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 choo. Tell you a million excuses. I feel calm may not have let me think clearly. I'm not in a position to contradict Emily as she was really insistent. I just got carried away. I look inside myself honestly. I want to be intimate with Emily. Only natural, Thomas, because you like her, although in a conventional way. After all, you were in love with Emily. I admit that I didn't want to complicate things. I escaped from the city to forget all that with her. 5 minutes later, I was in my new apartment with Emily lying on my bed. It's not the most common, of course. The undercover subconscious is madly searching for what it wants. Maybe she didn't realize at that moment, but it's likely that she ended up in that city because of something he told Emily at some point. Her destiny had pulled its strings so that you could be together. At that moment, it crossed my mind that maybe I had unconsciously gone after Emily. Soon after I put that out of my mind, I didn't want to be with someone who could directly put me in danger. Either because of her own life, or on her own, but you live together. That's understandable, Thomas. There's a question I wanted to ask you. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. It would be really interesting to know what kind of chemistry you had with each other here. How's your intimate relationship? Did you connect? It's possibly the weirdest thing of all. Why? I don't remember. What? You don't know if you had a relationship with Emily? Yes, we did, or at least I think we did. Emily the next morning told me that it had been something very special for her. She gave me some details, so to say, about what happened during the night. Did you lose consciousness? No, of course not. Emily, at first, I was really active after drinking some water, but she was never really. That's what I was thinking. What happened if she was imaginary or something? When I finished, I just fell asleep. It hadn't exactly been a relaxing day, but I know you're not used to drinking. Very little, only in this type of occasion. Happened the following morning. Actually, it was all really simple. I asked her that I thought it had been a mistake. What? It had been something special, but that I thought it would be best if we were only friends. What? Emily, how did she take? After you slept with her, you just said I want to be friends? But if none of this is real, that's true. And this is a dream within a dream has succession levels of deception. Fairly well, she even apologized. I don't think she did. She might not have taken it away, you don't know. Only that she knew I was not in the best of conditions and that maybe she had insisted too much. I understand. Another note, I understand the reunion with your friends in the city went well. Haven't you been a real detective? What do you mean? I have a real license. It's called the Real Detective License that I got 100 years ago. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. After so long living alone, virtually no social interaction other than with people at work. With a breath of fresh air. I'd like to chat about them so we can get to know them better. How's your relationship with William? William is one of the people I admire the most. As crazy as it may sound, Kate did not introduce me to William. What? But wasn't he your brother? I assumed Kate had introduced him to you, that's what I thought. I thought it was a great coincidence. William was making the game that would go viral a few months later. Thinking Zach was helping him test it, and I saw that in his Discord he was playing Retracing Simulator. I looked at the game and saw that I had a demo, so I gave it a try. I really like the simulator genre, so it caught my attention for the first second. I think it was really fun, and I started reacting the game for him. As William responded on the forum to find out what people thought, we gradually became friends. Kate, no? One day she saw me playing the game, and in one of our conversations while playing online, and that she had seen me playing. No, a female or male, I don't know. I think she's female. She told me that I really liked the demo and that I was looking forward to the release. And she told me that her brother was the creator, and I told her that we had been chatting on Discord and played online for a while. Not being into work similar to Tortita Studios, maybe. Truth is that it was a rather curious coincidence. It is. I made a relationship with William to be much more conventional. Conventional at work, people often find it hard to believe. It was just as it was. About Kate. Tell me you met her on the internet, but that you had not met much. The thing about Kate is weird. I often feel like I've forgotten a lot of things we've been through. Told you, I don't remember exactly my feelings for her. I'm very happy to see her during the move. Of course. Earl, William, and she were the reason I moved there. I think about it coldly. I don't understand why I didn't do it before. What do you mean? What do you mean? I think to tie me to the old city. Reading work was not an impediment. I think about it, I don't understand why I lived there for so long. Knowing that I was so close living close to the people I care about. To analyze the past and feel to understand the decisions we made. Part of life. Living and learning from what has happened to us. But, second thought, I think I could have moved anywhere to be with Kate. If you were in love with her at the time? Yeah, maybe. Okay, it seems that during dinner she wasn't too comfortable. During having dinner, Emily was a little direct with Kate. In which sense? Spoke on two occasions of the relationship she had with me. Considered me someone she was very close to and those sort of things. Are you jealous? I don't know, honestly. Really about Kate at this point in my life is very confusing to remember. Okay, I may have wanted a deep relationship with you and Emily on it. May not have set entirely well with them. I guess that makes sense. I'd never been with more people when I was with Emily. It made it easy for me to have conversations with her that I could hardly have had with anyone else. The knife is thing that she's on today. Did you usually talk to Kate on Discord? Yes, but it's not the same. Though I talked to her many times, we would talk about our day-to-day lives or what we were playing. Is still alive? I don't know. Because I think I remember we went further, but I don't think ever to the level I had with Emily. And with William? With William, I do remember being much more open. With Kate, it's all very confusing. Interesting. And don't quite understand why. Go back to dinner. Was Kate very talkative? Till almost the end, he practically did not come much. Or she, I mean. William was the center of the party as usual, and Emily did participate heavily in the conversation. I managed to integrate well with you. Yes, at least with William. After Kate and Emily spoke more directly, the atmosphere was not as relaxed as before. Did you do anything to relax the atmosphere? Nope. Not at first. It was hard to think clearly, but I didn't understand why Kate might have been upset. I may have never fully understood Kate. If she was your best friend. Maybe. I understood that because of all that, when Dylan commented about having a drink at the end of dinner. As the atmosphere has become a bit heated, William tried to calm things down by suggesting it. William quickly identified that his sister was not too comfortable. He tried to quickly change the subject. In William's appearance, he looked like someone who only talks in jest. He was a really sensitive person. He was also very protective of his sister, so it's only natural that he would be so attentive. Likewise, Emily was pretty quick as well. I didn't expect her to be so attentive. It took him a while to be the girl from home. And he wanted to make amends for making him wonderful, but what happened? Nothing. This was my imagination. Is that one with Kate that you didn't tell me about? No, it wasn't that. I had a taste of liquor. Did Emily do something to it? I had it more than once, but I didn't remember it tasting like that. I've been taking it for a long time. Sometime, yes. Last time was at the company Christmas dinner. Did she put something in it? I don't remember something so specific. I guess so. After liquor, we all started to get very tired, and that's when I told you before what happened. Did you rest the next day? Initially, yes, but the morning after Emily left the apartment, Kate called me. She asked me if I wanted the three of us to spend the day together since after this reunion, I sensed that it might have affected me. Kate knew much of what happened, I told you. I thought it would be good to get out and clear my head. Where did you go? We watched our arcade in the center of town. They wanted to show it to me. That was the day you returned home with Kate. Isn't that right, Thomas? What? Yes, that's right. Tell me what happened that day, Thomas. Explain to me how you found Emily inside your house that day. Kate has no chance if she does like the main character. No. Friends. Emily had just left my apartment. While she left in a friendly way, you could sense some tension between us. Even more so as I couldn't remember anything that had happened between us. I appreciated Kate's cold hand, but as always, took my mind off of the previous day's hustle and bustle. I arranged to meet at a coffee shop next to my apartment. Retro Arcade, they had PS4s there. Don't say that. You know, I was asking about coffee and told me they knew of an amazing coffee shop nearby. I was surprised it was the same one I used to go to in my old town. Okay. I didn't know it was a franchise called Destiny, I guess. Hey Thomas, you're here. Hi guys. You have a good night? Yesterday you were exhausted after dinner. During dinner I still had strength, but in the end my body couldn't take it anymore. And you weren't the one who made the most effort during the move. Right, Thomas? Provided us with his incredible presence. Every group needs someone to cheer the others. I surprised myself to assume this great responsibility. Bursting into laughter. One for William, Kate would surely have been much more tense about what happened the day before. Have you ordered? We already had our coffees. We already ordered yours. I don't think barista even knew that could be done. Not everyone is prepared for a palette as fine as Thomas. Someday I'll get you to try it and you'll see that you won't want anything else. Better sit tight, Thomas. Americano with coconut milk. It's in time. Well, how about Emily? Okay, there'll be silence for a few seconds. If I decide to respond. I didn't expect to find it here. A rather strange situation. What I don't get is why you invited her to have dinner with us. Everything you told me. I think I'm missing out. Yeah, because he didn't tell you anything. First, like still 2 years left before we become a retro. I think so too. How with Emily? Actually, I only know Emily from 2 specific moments. First time I talked to her for a whole morning at a coffee shop, I didn't identical to this one. And she ended up running away from there when she heard the police sirens. Was she a fugitive? In time, she explained why she ran away. I was out of fear at the time, partner. It's too bad, so if Emily is a victim in all of this, why is it so weird that you're nice to her? That thing happened that second time, but Thomas hasn't told me what it was. Oh, it didn't tell me the gunstone thing? Just say I didn't like what I found out about Emily. When I did, I decided to get away from her as soon as possible. I imagine what kind of worried you so much about her. Your reaction was that. You really must have had a good reason, but you still like her. His look showed concern. The tone of voice in which she spoke was delicate, as she believed that a bad word would hurt my feelings. I don't know if I did the right thing or not, but at this time I didn't want to face that kind of situation. Might have been selfish, but I wasn't ready. That truly left me intrigued. If that's what you felt at the time, if you want to get away from her, crash out at my house. More real estate agents came willing to set out to find a new apartment. Doing really brilliant things. Went up to her apartment yesterday, she explained some things I didn't understand. To be told, I really want to believe her. You know I can count on us, right? I know, that's why I also decided to move here. A few seconds of silence between us. One and finally stepped in to see the situation. What's up? We have a busy schedule today. On the agenda, there's an arcade downtown. We thought you'd fancy going there. And then we were going to stop at the bookstore. Are you going to buy something? And possibly you too. You're all over the place, aren't you? That woman understood everything. Brad Sanders' new book. Oh, another new book by the guy. Indeed. It has taken him quite a while to release another of his books, 2 or 3 months since the previous one. Well, he's out of shape. What? This guy's so prolific. He can write a book that short. The 3 of us started laughing. I gave my spirits and remembered why I was there. We headed off to spend the morning in the arcade. Out of the arcade. What? It's like a little bar on the left. What? This arcade is awesome. At the arcade, and as I walked through the door, it looked like I had traveled back in time. The shit I hadn't seen in childhood, which were old even then. Luminous marquees with games that were the king more than 3 decades ago. Top it off, the owner of the place ties to the moon with a little smoke. As in concerts. I think they want to represent as faithfully as possible what an arcade was like in the 80s or 90s. Tobacco is nowadays forbidden in these kind of places. They had that idea. What do you think of this ode to video game? Looks cool. I had no idea this place existed. Did we surprise you? Yeah, completely. And best of all, I can play the arcade as much as you want. The entrance fee allows us to stay here all morning playing as we want. What? Really? I like that even more. Excuse me, I just saw that there's a Street Warriors 2 tournament and... I show everyone who's been the king of this game for more than 20 years. What? Don't ever without a trophy. Count on it. Kit and I were on our own. Uh-oh. Well, let's see what happens. The first time we were going to be without William since I had arrived in town. I think that is what I have been truly waiting for all that time. Yo, Street Warriors, let's go, Street Fighter. Would you like to play Final Punch? Since you watch the anime, that's all I think about, isn't it? You got me. Let's go. I started playing it, and it wasn't long before I decided to ask about Emily. Hey, what was going on with you at dinner yesterday? I don't understand, Thomas. What are you talking about? You're talking to Emily. You seemed really comfortable. I would even say that you got annoyed with her. You could tell Kate was not at ease, looking at the ground as if the answer had fallen there from her brain. A few seconds later, she began to speak. Ella talked about you. She two felt something for each other. Looked at you with affection, even love. Yo! Never thought that there was something so deep between you. And even less knowing that you had only met twice. Difficult to explain, but did that bother you? The possibility of us being together? Thomas, you really don't know? Haven't you realized? Oh! This is awkward now. No. I like you, Thomas. No. Oh my gosh, so awkward. Oh my god. I like you very much. No. Hey, you don't have to say anything really. When I met you, I just saw you as a friend. Heck yeah. Life is so complicated. No, it's so complicated. Ah! the drama! Little by little, my feelings changed until I knew that I wanted to be with you. Up until yesterday, I thought that somehow you might feel the same way about me. Knowing if I told you that I have no feelings for Emily, that she didn't confess her feelings. You love her? I don't know. I left the state precisely to leave her behind. Get away from her man. What do you mean? It's the friend. She's in the friend zone. But I wouldn't be dragged into a life I knew I didn't want, and also to be closer to the two of you. Be with you. No, Thomas. Why are you saying this? At that moment, even though I knew it could hurt her, I decided to tell her what had happened the night before with Emily. I can't just lock into someone without someone ending up in tears. I know, but no matter who we pick, the one girl will be sad. But yesterday, when you left, Emily carried me to bed as I was very tired. Oh no! Time's on Emily! Oh my gosh! Although I remember practically nothing of what happened. We ended up spending the night together. Oh my god, why are you telling her? Oh my god! You go into detail. There was a dreadful silence. Oh my gosh! I didn't know what else to say. It's like he wanted to say something, but no sound came out of her mouth. Oh my god! Bro, where are you? Help me, help me. I knew it would hurt her, but I also knew she should know. The pain, oh my gosh. I want to hug the kid. I hug the kid, me too. Oh boy, yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Thomas. I need a minute. Oh my god, I'm in her restaurant. And this is the day he decided to love Emily too. Oh my gosh, this guy. We got hurried to the restaurant. I knew how to tell her as soon as possible. I don't think there's any way in which I could sugarcoat what happened. Minutes later, she came back, more relaxed, and without giving me much time to say anything, she asked me directly. You love her, Thomas. I regret what happened, Kate. Don't regret it! It happened! What are you gonna do now? Yeah, she probably cried in the bathroom for a few minutes. I can't believe he's telling her this in an arcade, though. Oh my gosh, this is so awkward. As the owner seeing this, I told her this morning, and she also agreed that maybe she had pushed me too hard. Even more so knowing that it was not right. Thomas, what happened to make you run away from your city? Thomas? Yeah, sorry. I zoned out for a second. Don't worry. What did you tell Kate? Okay, I'll just keep picking the first options, because I think, like I said, I think the first options lead to different. What happened? That's what I want to forget. It's complicated. You don't have to tell me. I simply want to understand you, Thomas. I met Emma because of a mix-up, you know that. I meant that on that day, there were certain things that were strange to me. As if she knew exactly what to say to get me more and more interested in her. In addition, some things happened that were not quite normal, like when she suddenly left, or some attitude she had during the conversation. The second day I saw her, so I had to stay away from her no matter how much I liked her. What happened? Emily pulled a gun on me in a coffee shop. What do you mean? Emma had a gun on her and pulled it out to shoot you in front of everyone? Maybe she isn't real. But Kate acts like she is real, but maybe she's... Okay, the theory that Emily isn't real is true. And maybe Kate is just acting like she's real to not, like, give it away, I guess, or try to see why, I guess, maybe. But, I don't care, we'll see. It was late. Emily was telling me what had happened with her ex-boyfriend. I told him that he had to get as far away from him as possible, even from his own work. Oh, this part's not translated. This game is in both Spanish and English, by the way, so that was the one I know not translated, I guess. Her ex-boyfriend works in a shitty business, and Emily had gotten her position thanks to Seth's shenanigans. I understand. Emily became nervous and pointed her revolver at me to show me how helpless she felt. I was thrown in the cafe, and the waiter was packing up. But she could have killed you. I knew she had a gun with her from the first time I saw her. She had also told me she was carrying it unloaded, but I didn't want to get involved with someone who had pulled a gun on me. I decided to leave town. I'm sorry that happened, Thomas. I guess I thought I was over it. When I saw Emily upstairs, all the memories came back, without being able to stop them. Of everything that happened afterwards, made the situation not much better. Does she want something else? Next day, I didn't remember anything. Emily was the one who told me everything. I talked calmly and I told her that it had been a mistake. Hey, I really don't want to be with Emily. But you brought her home with you! Ah! I can't tell you exactly how I feel about you either. Thomas, I will always be here. No, don't wait for him. Move on. If maybe, I don't know. Because of how it ends. I don't know. I don't know if he'll forget her. You know that, don't you? Thank you, Kate. If at some point you know, I'll be waiting for you, even after knowing everything you've told me. The moment William appeared, to hear everything, he did not look very happy. Oh no. The last time I entered a warrior's determination. Okay, never mind. What happened? When I started mashing buttons, always throwing me the same attack from far away. It was hard for me to know what he was going to do, and I got eliminated in the third round. Well, because of the tension with a knife. Oh god. Conversation with Kate, we were both still at a loss for words. You were very quiet. Did the cat bite your tongue? You're ridiculous, William. Why didn't you get past the first game of Final Punch? You get caught up in a conversation that you forgot about the game. Something like that. I'll play a few more games and go to the bookstore? Of course, and this is where they meet Emily, I guess. More times playing on various arcade machines. If you're William having a worse day, I don't know. They're both pretty bad. My little Kate and I went back to normal. Instead, I was really confused. Told you, I didn't know what I felt about Kate. I arrived at the bookstore. I felt that seeing the shelf of Brad Sanders' future books again didn't do me any good. Although this time, the company, it was very different. I think I thought I had to reread the previous book. It's been too long since the last one. The last one was a few months ago, William. In Sanderson years, it's almost decades. You're absolutely right. Thomas, what happened the last time you brought the latest Sanders book? You told us something. I was more relaxed than in the arcade. Finally, her cheerful mood was back. Able to give a break to feelings I didn't know how to sort out. You got in the bulletproof vest with you? Why? He quickly looked at me quite worried. I didn't know what William was talking about or why he had made such comments. It's because he heard about... Did he hear it? Did he know about Emily? I think he does. Didn't someone get shots at the bookstore when you bought Sanders' latest book? Oh yeah. Yes, kind of. I could drink at a cafe when a guy was... I just thought the book was shot pretty close. Oh, you hadn't told me anything. I don't want to worry you. I know how you feel about these things. I don't worry about you? You're already emotionless, William. That's true. You bought the books, and at that moment everything came to mind. The last 3 hours have been incredibly intense. I started to feel really weak. Thomas, are you okay? You don't look so good, buddy. I've been better, that's true. I think I'm just a bit dizzy. A move, reunions, a day out? Can't think of a reason. Would you like us to walk you home? No, it isn't necessary. You can go alone, I'm really close. It'd feel better if I got you home. Thank you, kid. I appreciate it. I'll go to cab, so you can go to Thomas, okay? I'll go with you, but I have a meeting in an hour with a publisher for the next game. Why don't you say something earlier? I don't want to jinx it, but I don't want you to think that I would leave a friend on his last breath. You're not making excuses, William. That's my style. We arrived at my apartment a bit later. I had called a cab and we crossed town within minutes. Thank you, kid. I think I can go on my own. Thomas, I didn't go across town not to make sure you're okay. I went into my apartment. Everything was quiet and little by little I was feeling better. I'm going to prepare you calming tea so you can relax and rest for a while. Thanks, Kate. I guess it wasn't easy to tell me all of that. I understand that's why you're like this. I'm sorry that you remember all that. The day Emma pointed that gun at me. It was the day Brad Sanders' previous book was released. Oh, is that why you started to feel weird? William asked you about it? Yes. After since I talked to the arcade, I started to feel better. Because I didn't want to hide what had happened with Emily, especially not to you. I appreciate that you decided to trust me, even after what I told you. But for almost, you're my friend, my best friend. The moment Kate and I hugged, I felt Kate's tears on my shoulders. No, you indirectly rejected her. No. Kate also did a great deal in the last few hours. She managed to open up to me. I answered her with a ton of bricks. Yeah. Felt like I might be throwing away the chance to be with someone that was really worth it. Oh, few minutes passed. Through the tea while I was chatting with Kate about important things. I tried to understand why I didn't feel for Kate the same way I felt for Emily. I haven't had too many emotions for today. I take you to the bedroom so you can rest. It'll be for the best. Opened the bedroom door when we saw someone within the darkness of the room. What? She's still in my house? I went into the room. No, she's already in my room. Yeah? With Emily, who was crying sitting on the bed. What are you doing here, Emily? How'd you get in? That's what I was saying! Everyone let me the keys to your apartment. Why? When I saw me leaving your apartment, I told them that I was your girlfriend. Oh my gosh! That's so awkward. Oh my god! I can't. The drama! When he saw me leaving your apartment, I told him that I was your girlfriend that I had left something here. Oh my gosh. But what are you doing here? He lives sad. He knows I live here. No! Oh my gosh! What do you hell yeah? What do you mean? I was feeling so quickly. The instant my whole world fell apart. I had fled from my old city because of that. Because I didn't want to be part of it, and it had hit me full on. Did you see him? Did the police tell you? I've seen him looking in the street from the window. At the cafe across the street the whole afternoon. He's been waiting for me to come out. I don't know how he found me, but he did. Gangster ex and homebreaker neighbor, let's go. Apparently, the only thing I could think of was to come here because if he made it this far, he'll know which floor I live. Thomas, I think I'm the third rule. You are right now. Yes, you are. Oh my gosh. No, Kate, please. You're already with Emily. If anything, just give me a call. Oh, jeez. Okay, out of the apartment. Kate has a slower, turnistic expression. Oh, no. She had during this morning in the arcade. Kate, are you okay? No, she's not okay. Yes. I was simply surprised. Nothing else. Actually, I like tricycles. I expect Emily to be in the room, least of all for those reasons. But you had to be the one to help her? Getting into danger like that? That's what I was thinking because of the geeker stuff. The only person she knows in town, Kate. We'll call the police, we'll see what they can do. Thomas, that's what you have to do. Just be careful. That's for sure. Talk tomorrow, okay? Of course. I rushed back inside. Emily was still sitting on the bed. I see on her face that she was terrified. I felt the seed precisely to avoid this. And now she had greatest fear waiting us at her apartment. We need to get him! If we need to use the gun, we're gonna use the gun, okay? What exactly happened? I don't know, Thomas. I saw him through the window and... But Emily, I can't understand a word. Right from the beginning. What happened when you left my apartment this morning? I know that I only go out to do shopping or first use a photo shoot that I have been hired for. Yesterday I got a request for a photo shoot from a guy and he wanted to make a couple of blocks away this morning. I left your apartment and I went to mine to get ready for the photo shoot. When we had everything ready, I still had coffee to relax before leaving. I looked at the window and there he was, walking down the street as if looking for something. Looking for me. I canceled the photo shoot and pulled the curtains in the apartment so no one could see me. You found me, Thomas. I think he was the one who hired you, maybe. Maybe, I'm not sure. I've set the vacation mode in the photo app so I can no longer be commissioned for photo shoots. I don't know what to do, Thomas. Should I call the police? Call the agent who had been helping me in our old city. I told not to leave the house and to try to be with someone at all times. She also told me that she would talk to her contact and let me know if they were able to locate him. I told Emily, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know either. Can I ask you a favor, Thomas? Of course. My friend said to find out where I live, and one day she'll live at my apartment door. I know what I'm going to ask you may not be the best of ideas, especially after what happened between us, but I can come live with you for a while. Ah, Thomas. First time I hear about Emily and you living together. Not a time that I feel like remembering too much. Especially as this is the starting point of everything. This is why I came here. Understand, Thomas. When Emily asked to live with me, I didn't know what to say. On the other hand, I knew I didn't want Emily in my life. Emily's the person who you love, but at the same time, it's something that you don't want in your life at all. Thomas, what the helly? I know, but I had no choice. Because Emily was not to blame for what's happened to her. She is not. That's why we need to get this guy and like make sure he like never comes back permanently. That's what we need to do here. It's the opposite. She was the victim. I guess, yeah. Not so sure, are you? Do you think Seth should find her? No, of course not. Well, I don't know. It's true that everything is really confusing. Maybe if I had found her earlier, nothing would have ended the way it did. Get it, Thomas. We'll get to that later. Go on. Ended up living with me. Emily talked to her landlord and told him that she was going to be gone for a few months, but she would keep paying rent. Did she do that? Did she leave the apartment or not, just not say anything to him? I was like, yeah, why did she leave the apartment? I feel like why did she leave? I feel like she should have left completely. I don't know anymore. Emily suspected that Seth could be in contact with the landlord or people close to him. Like she wanted to check if Seth disappeared when he found out. Kind of far-fetched, that's what I was about to say. I caught her mind for a moment, but I didn't give it a second thought. I went up to her apartment to get her things, and she settled into the room I used for work. Since there was a small guest bed in that room, there was no major problems. Emily's apartment was then empty, but she's not paying rent, isn't it? Exactly. Emily also thought that Seth might at some point try to get into that apartment, so he set up a camera. That way, if they saw him, we could call the police. Emily was really, very prepared. When we were preparing everything, she seemed confident. And she had planning all that for a long time. As if she was used to it. I mean, it's not that she was used to it, I feel like. If it's in danger, the mind gets ready for anything, entering into fight or flight mode. Maybe. We lived together for a long time in the end? Not so much, just enough to make it difficult. What do you mean? Difficult to live with Emily? It was complicated. Most of the day, it was like living with a friend. I was the one who went out to buy food and other things we needed, in charge of doing the housework. I thought it was because Emily could not leave the house for her own safety. Exactly, in the end, priority was for Emily not to be seen by Seth for a while. It was those days when Emily acted as if we were a couple. Emily! In which way, Thomas? That she would call me pet names. No! That time she talked to me as if she were in her own home. Saying that she was in my apartment because I was helping her. I don't know, things like that. Well, after all, Emily had feelings for you. She'd already told you. Yes, of course, but I already agreed what had happened that night was a mistake. It was not a mistake to her. I guess, I don't know. It was better to be friends. It's one thing to say, Thomas, but feelings are complicated to control. Anyway, it was quite a complicated situation to let her behave like that. Each person faces dangerous situations in a different way, Thomas. Emily at best coped with it by trying to live a normal life. Yes, friend, That's more normal than living with your SO. It makes a lot of sense, but it was very confusing. This was a hard blow for Kate. It was worse than I had first imagined. First, Kate would come home, but her tension with Emily grew and grew. First, moving to dinner. That day, I thought it was a one-time thing, but whatever Emily said, I understood it and looked really uncomfortable. What comments did Emily say that made her uncomfortable? I could comment on something related to the day but today. Or she would grab me by my arm or something like that. Oh my gosh. Ah! Thomas! It's normal knowing how she felt about you. The worst part was that now there was nothing I could do to fix it. The president of the situation I had not even chosen. As the days passed, Kate stopped staying and she would drop by. And in less than a week, she told me she would no longer be coming home as long as Emily was there. It hurt her very much to see her and that she would rather not suffer like that. We kept hanging out. Did you? First, yes. Sometimes with William and sometimes just the two of us. There were not too many problems. In a very short span, we had gotten used to seeing each other almost every day. A few weeks later, I started looking forward to our meeting. No! She made all kinds of excuses. Oh no. Oh, Kate. If it hadn't been for William, I don't think I'd have seen her for a long time. Thomas, Kate's feelings for you were very strong. I had a fight with someone who was alone. Someone who, on top of that, you couldn't ignore in any way. Someone who needed you. This has been really hard for Kate. Did you manage to get your feelings in order during that time? No. Think about the time I spent alone with Kate. I just remember it was the best time of my day. I thought about video games, movies, and the books we were reading. The day that we spent together, I realized that Kate had things that I only thought I had seen in Emily. How did you discover that you hadn't seen in Kate before? Knowing that we truly seemed to always think alike. It sounds silly, but it seemed that when I started a sentence, she could have finished it exactly as I imagined it. Something very similar to what she had told me you saw in Emily. discovered it until now. Guess distance keeps you from discovering things like that. When you're in school with someone, you pick it up in a second. So how did you feel about Kate at the time? It was, hey, for me, I don't know. Much as I think about her, I just think she was my friend. Maybe more, but I can't figure my feelings for Kate. You're like okay machines. Kate decided to be honest with you. Think you're honest with her? Yeah, he was. I think so. When Kate opened up her feelings to me like that, I knew I couldn't keep my head with Emily from her. The gun, Thomas? Yes. I didn't want to relive that situation all over again. But I felt like I had to be honest with Kate, tell her the truth, and I wanted her to know that Emily, even if I had feelings for her, was not the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And who is this person, Thomas? Who would you want to spend the rest of your life with? I need to think that maybe with Kate. But you rejected Kate. Will she even take you back? Tell me that when Emily started living in your house was only temporary. I don't quite understand. How could you know if Seth would leave or if he would break into her apartment so you could call the police? You know Emily would no longer be able to return to her apartment. And if Seth no longer thought she lived there, going back would be too dangerous. Popcorn. I know it is popcorn worthy. It's simply waiting for things to calm down. And even be able to look for another place to live. Exactly. But it was complicated. Your contact at the police told him to continue living with me. Told her to continue living with me. But for a rent sign on her apartment. I don't understand that. You want to rent Emily's apartment? No, it was simply another trap for Seth. I was interested the number listed was one of Emily's contacts with the police. With Seth, they would immediately go after him. I understand. Only that Emily's lease did not state that she could not sublet any room. I think that she had told the landlord she would be out for a few months. Well, it wasn't so rare. Not even for the landlord. Then, how were you going to wait for Emily to be able to move in? The time could simply pass without Seth showing signs of life. At first I didn't think about that, but as time went by, I began to realize that this could go on forever. Considering how it affected my friendships, well, I was worried that we wouldn't see a time when Emily would take the step to move to an apartment or to start fresh again. No way, Thomas, I have a question. Did you pay for everything? Wasn't Emily working doing photo shoots? At that time, Emily continued working but not doing photo shoots. Part of her income was from work she did on photo retouching websites. Anyway, I was the one who did the shopping and she was already paying her rent, so I never said anything about giving me any money. Did she have to say anything? Not directly, but she said that I said it a couple of times. I told her that it didn't matter. And all that time with Emily, nothing else happened between the two of you again, something like what happened moving night. You're asking if she ever made a move on me, yes. Yeah, several times. Much of Emily often confused her stay in my apartment. Thought we were just a normal couple. Then she would come with me to my bedroom quite naturally, arguing that she didn't want to sleep with anyone. Sometimes she would appear next to me half naked like the night in the room. She would talk to me and tell me that we both felt the same way about each other, but we should make the situation clear. I needed to tell her that she was in a quite delicate moment of her life, even mine. And I didn't want to complicate things more than necessary. After a while, things calmed down and we didn't talk about it again. According to what you told me, Thomas, the day when Emily rubbed your relationship with Caden. Oh, yes. What triggered our argument? Well, the day that Emily confessed to me that she was— What? Oh my gosh! Got her pregnant! Thomas! Brigante! Okay, wait. I'll be right back. I need to go get a blanket because it's cold. Okay. I forgot to change my be right back screen. Okay, I'll just add it here. Okay, we're back. We're back. Sister has no chill. It doesn't have any chill. Yes, we're back. The story is escalating more and more. When you think it can't get any worse, it gets worse. Fast when I woke up that day. And I expected it to be the day my whole life would change. Welcome back. Thank you! It was the weekend, and fortunately I didn't have to work. And several days in which I had been distant, even with Emily. The final deadline of her project at work and during all that time I had only separated from my laptop to get something to eat. That day at last I could chill for a while. Or so I thought as I was leaving my bedroom. Good morning, Thomas. Hi, Emily. You managed to finish last night what you were working on? I heard you went to bed very late. Yes, luckily. I had little left, so I was working up quite late that night. But at last, I'm now free. Now you have the week off, right? Yes, kind of. I work overtime a lot, so I have some free days now. I have 7 days accumulated to relax and rest. Oh, nice. You have something to celebrate? Well, I was planning to chill at home today. I'll play something, and I'll give Killian a call. So see if they feel like going out to have dinner. Will they come home? I don't think so. I only talked about a new Indian restaurant that opened downtown. But does William know you don't like Indian food? Maybe promise to give it a chance. Not that I'm looking forward to it. Bring me some when you get back. Oh, now I'm in the mood for Indian food. Yeah, sure. Bring me something with tikka masala or some samosa. That's the only thing you know about Indian food, don't you? Saw through me. We both started laughing. The higher moments with Emily could often be the highlight of the day. It tended to be quite short, though. If I'm going to bring a bottle of Fenny, I do understand about that. Fenny? What's that? Quite famous liquor in India. Well, there's no need, Thomas. With some vegetarian samosas, I'll be more than happy. I don't understand. Want to try it? Ah! Not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't. Something wrong? Any pills? No, it's not that. We've been living together, our relationship has become cold, distant. We've had a difficult relationship, so to say. I know. But I thought after what happened that night, we managed to connect in a deeper way. We already talked about it, Emily. It was a mistake. I slept my best and you... Oh, no, Pilsen. Hello. You pushed me harder than you should have, especially because of the state I was in. No, Thomas. Things have changed since that day. What's changed? That happened 2 months ago. I've been feeling quite right lately. Ordered something on the internet. Knew they couldn't see you, Emily. You're endangering us all. With safety measures, I left the parcel at the door and did not open the door until the courier left. What did you order? He asked me to buy it for you. Who was this, Thomas? The moment I was shocked. No! Oh my gosh. Pregnancy test. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Emily, what is this? It's a pregnancy test. I'm pregnant. And you're the father. Oh my gosh. I had to sit down immediately. Even today, I don't know if I got over that. But before that night, Thomas, since this had disappeared almost a year ago. Oh no. She has the pink COVID. No kidding. Not been with anyone. Emily, I need to think. Worse. I went to my bedroom. I have never felt this way before. Thought about my decision I don't even remember making. It's someone I had wanted to forget months ago. Palmer, though, was trembling hands, and texted Kate. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to tell her. Not if I really wanted to tell her. I texted her, hello. Left my cell phone on the bed, but a few minutes later I got a text from Kate. Hello, Thomas. Is something wrong? I just wanted to talk to you. Okay? Something happened to me and I wanted to talk to a friend. Has something happened with Emily? Are you okay? You're gonna tell Kate that she's pregnant? Oh my, stop torturing Kate. I know it's important to tell her though. I'm fine, yes. It's just I found out something I'd like for it to be a dream. That back? No. Can we meet? I'm still meeting you right now. Of course. Shall we meet at the arcade? Not the arcade! The little ground between my apartment and yours. Perfect, I'm on my way. I got my pajamas and put on the first thing I saw in the closet. I hurried out of bed, ready to walk out that door without a second thought. As soon as I opened the door to my room, there was Emily. Thomas, are you okay? I just need to clear my head. All the things I expected to hear today, this was not one of them. And I didn't expect it either, Thomas. That moment I lost my temper and raised my voice louder than normal. Emily, everything that I was feeling at the moment. Emily, I was drunk. You pushed me and you even take any precautions? I was in no condition. I don't even remember anything beyond saying no to you several times. I think you're the only one who feels like that. Set us somewhere and I don't know what to do. Not even in my apartment. Every day that goes by I feel like a burden to you and to your friends. The moment my cell phone rang, it was calling me. I only could see who was calling me, and at that point she also began to raise her voice. It's Kate, isn't it? What are you talking about? If it weren't for Kate, it might even have been good news. There was something between us. Only she had shot us back then, I guess, at this point. At that moment, Emily grabbed the cell off my hand and she quickly sought out my conversation with Kate. It was so horrible that she wished it was just a dream. Oh no. Emily, please. You're going with her now, aren't you? Goodbye, Emily. I quickly snatched the cell phone from her hand and slammed the apartment door. Closed the door with no intention of opening it again. What was I supposed to do? I was completely overwhelmed by the situation. I arrived at the arcade. I was on one of the benches in the food court. Her face when she saw me changed from a slight smile to concern. What happened, Thomas? You don't look well. I didn't know who to talk to, Kate. The situation with Emily. I don't know what to do. I started living with her. I confess that I have been avoiding you. I guess you could have used a little support. No, Kate, you're not one to blame for anything. It's just that something's happened. I said something before while texting. What happened? Emily's pregnant. You know, we were in a room full of noisy music. The moment I noticed a silence that flooded the entire room. I'm scared too. I'm scared too! Kate's face was completely blank. Her eyes were trying to read me, but I didn't know what she was looking for. The lovely memory in the arcade. I know this arcade is like it was going through things. This was like a cute game. I thought it looks kind of cute, but it's not cute anymore. But has Emily been seeing anyone? No. According to her, in the last few months, she was only with me that one night. Kate made a move as she wanted to leave, but quickly stopped. What do you want me to do, Thomas? Why did you want to see me? Give me the wonderful news? Tell me you're going to be parents? Kate, you know what happened that night. I just know that you've been with her all this time. A girl from whom, on top of everything, you had very deep feelings. A girl who right now may be desolate in your living room. Sorry, I shouldn't have called you. A few seconds passed. Really should not have called her. Oh my gosh. Long seconds of my entire life, but then a calmer Kate took over the conversation. And this has been very hard for me to hear. I get that for you it has not been any easier. Dude, Kate is such an amazing person at this point. Should I go somewhere quieter? When you told me you wanted to talk, I thought you might want a more relaxed setting. I didn't expect for you to tell me something like that. Of course. All along the way, none of us uttered a word. While the tension in the atmosphere was no longer so high, a short walk to the cafeteria helped us put our thoughts in order. What are you going to do, Thomas? I don't know. Thomas, Emily is not to blame. I wasn't myself. I could have stopped or taken some precaution, and not to find ourselves in this situation. You don't know what really happened that night. Yes, that's a problem! You don't remember it well. Emily has always said that was a sweet moment between the two of you. Putting my share of responsibility in all this, aren't I? I'm judging you, Thomas. I just know that as much as Emily isn't exactly my best friend, maybe the best place for you is to be next to her. I mean, I feel like he should just go back to Emily anyway, because he really needs to talk out what's going to happen next. I'm just saying. The last words were virtually unheard. As Kate told me about Emily, I could see she was working more and more inside. No, Kate! To put herself in my shoes. Not remembering what happened that night is a good argument for why this is on. Yeah, I agree. But now that it's happened, and there's a kid along the way, it's like, what can you do though, right? Like, they had to have a very serious conversation about what's going to happen and what did happen. And Emily's, sorry again, Kate. We'll have time to talk. Have you made up your mind about what you're going to do? Yes, I have to go back. Thomas, just one thing. What is it, Kate? I want you to know that as hard as it is for me to say, I'll always be by your side. I know, Kate. I think I told you about my feelings for Emily or for you. It's not changed at all. That means complicating things even more. It'd be great if we could just change our feelings to click, wouldn't it? As if we were in a video game. Kate's face showed a slight smile, even understanding. Maybe that life has no checkpoints. No, it does not. There's no respawn point to change your action decisions. Nope. I have to go, Kate. I know. The race that I took towards my apartment became more difficult. If I managed to run my motions in order, what should I do? I was in front of my apartment door. I knew that my responsibility for everything that happened was Emily. It was also mine. Only that I had blamed someone who was going through the worst time of her life. Emma's main flaw was to have fallen in love with me. Besides, she had tried to suppress her love for me, even though she knew it was mutual because of fear of what it might entail. Yes, it's a very complicated situation. I mean, I appreciate the game making it not so like black and white in terms of like choices Thomas makes, even before this moment of moving to this apartment. Though I'm not gonna lie, like why did you fall in love with her? And she pointed the gun at you. I'm just saying. But anyway, I decided I knew what was waiting for me behind that door. Now that she's not in there anymore. Without warning, the dry sound was heard upstairs. Oh. Emma's apartment. Oh, I always carry keys to both apartments with me just in case. We went upstairs. Upstairs, I checked my cell phone. There was no notification of the camera app. If someone had come in, we would have known. Emma hadn't called me either. Oh, I want to worry her more than necessary. More so in that state. I went into her apartment and kept hearing the same noise. Everywhere, but I didn't find anything. The noise was muffled. Seth were in a completely empty cathedral. At least there was no sign of Seth. One problem less. Are you sure? Not that he's hiding! Then I had the sensation of hearing a faint dripping sound coming from the kitchen. I bed down and finally there was a problem. Plumbing that breakdown that welcomed me to my apartment refused to be fixed. Huh? The moment I was getting up under the carpet that connects to the dining room, a rather strange rustling sound rang out. Something wrong, Thomas? My hand scared me too. I'm scared. What is that? You're hearing my memories? You're approaching the moment where your life changed completely. This is normal. I'm gonna make one last effort. So I'm assuming that this is gonna be the ending or the climax of the game, right? With the way they're writing it. What did you do at that moment? Okay. We will check what's under though. I check what's under the carpet. All apartments in that building were very similar. I was surprised that under the carpet is a loose wooden tile. I never moved the carpet as it was stepped on by some furniture. I looked at the wooden tile. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had a box Emily's gun. After all, she had never told me she would get rid of it. In that box there was much more. Oh no. My passport and the name of a certain Emma. Different photos of me, which I don't remember having taken. What? She had been following me in the previous city. Oh my gosh! And several notes where you could see lists of games and places I used to go. Oh my god, was she stalking him from the beginning or something? Oh my gosh! Hell yeah! What do you mean? Oh no! Here we are. We are here. In addition to two small empty jars, which I'm assuming were drugs or something, and when she drank the drinks, the moment I didn't know what to think. Could I be misunderstanding everything? What was it all about? It was Emily. I find out immediately, so I went determinedly into my apartment to talk to Emily. I closed the door to Emily's apartment. The hallways remained quiet. Nothing had happened, but then I heard loud banging downstairs. Ah! Someone's knocking on the door with his fist. Oh my gosh, it's gonna glass! Before we had even made it down the stairs, we were gonna hear a male voice on the top of his lungs. No! Oh my gosh! Emma, I know you're here. I hurried down the stairs. And as soon as I got to the hallway apartment, I saw him. But I was surely trying to avoid on the street. It's a Seth guy! Tall, strong. Why is he look like he's built like a brick house, man. How are we gonna go against this guy? What's he doing in my house? It was Emma. It could be. Hey, what are you doing here? He gave a nasty look as if all that was not with me. Who are you? I'm looking for Emma. This is my house and no Emma lives here. The expression began to change radically as if his fear did not fit inside him. What do you mean there is no Emma here? I saw her through the window a few minutes ago. What? Are you in cahoots with her? I'm protecting her. I'm not in cahoots with anyone and I don't know who this Emma is either. That moment anger took over me in a dark way. I asked him, guys, the one who should be asking the questions is me. This is my apartment. Who are you? Who am I? Why do you care? Did you break in the apartment door? Why would... Of course he's gonna ask whether he knew Emily or not. I'm just saying. At that moment I knew. Seth had found Emily. So that's how you met Seth. Yes. You're always very big in telling me what happened that day. Everything starts making sense. Memories here are blurry, but it's so hard for me to tell what happened. Why was Seth yelling Emma? That's her real name, I think. Until now, I had not been able to understand that. It was Emma. Well, at least she was smart enough to actually change her name to make sure that Seth actually didn't try and find her, but fortunately, he found her anyway. Why did she have that name to call Emily? It was clear Emily's identity added to the mystery surrounding her. When I saw what was under the wooden tile in the kitchen, passport with that name. Emily's trying to Emma. I mean, it has to be because it's passport, right? Why had she lied to me all that time? She was like stalking you, though, partially. Was Emily really? Or Emma? I'm too invested in this story. I've been a way to protect herself from Seth? I mean, yeah, definitely. There's a reason why she told us to change her name. The name in the passport was Emma, not Emily. The passport was real and I had not seen one with the name Emily. The most logical thing is that her real identity was Emma, and that introduced herself with a fake one. What reason could she have for doing that? You met in a cafe by chance. I tried to think that maybe it wasn't such a coincidence. That she didn't want to be able to know who she really was. In any case, no matter how it was, Emily's cover had blown, yes. This guy! Get out of here! Realized who he really was. Seth. I knew everything would be over that day, one way or another. To move on with what happened to Seth, I'd like to talk a bit further about some things, of course. We woke up that day and started talking to Emily. It was when he told you all that she was pregnant, yes. Why did you react that way? You were really aggressive. I felt completely overwhelmed by the situation. I was in a relaxed way, and all of a sudden she told me that. But it wasn't Emily's fault. I didn't see it that way at that time. No memory of the night I spent with Emily. I remember being very reluctant to want to be intimate with her. I know she pushed me to make it happen, but you don't remember what happened next. Now that talking to Kate, I reflected on the whole thing. I didn't know what exactly happened, but I knew Kate and I had to be together for all of it. I put a lot of pressure, actually. It took me very little time to react as you should have. Yes, but it wasn't worth much either. Emily was happy? With pregnancy, yes. Never knew. First, what she told me, she had some emotion in her words. But I could never know if she had wanted me to have that baby. Tell me before you told this that your shit with Kate had a weekend. She barely answered your messages. Why did you text Kate at that time? Because she was the first person I thought of. Many times I have doubts about what to do, who to trust, about what to say or who to say it to. When I found out that Emily was pregnant, I knew exactly who I wanted support from, wanted by my side. It had been the one thing I did decisively that day. I had no doubt about it. And Kate was there, yes. Although the relationship was weakened by everything that happened with Emily, I was there, and I understood her. Had been in his situation, I don't know if I would have been so understanding. How did Kate take it all? Bad. Incredibly bad. Incredibly bad as an understatement. She took it like it was a freaking, end of the world, man. But she was extremely kind. I understood all of that. I told her how it went that night with Emily, and that, while I may have been partly to blame in the end, Emily was the one who wanted to force the situation. It was not an easy thing to rationalize, indeed. I feel like Kate loved you. It meant sharing you or even losing you. I'd always shown it. Back to Emily, when do you think she became suspicious of all that? When we said the night, since I didn't remember anything, I didn't know if we had used protection. You really should have asked if she did or not. I didn't know if Emily took anything for that. It meant that it didn't cross my mind until she confessed all of that. Emily should have known better, of course. Yep, she should have. The chance to ask her. Nor was there much time, but if she really knew about all that, why didn't she do something the next day? Any emergency contraceptive? Yes. It would have been the most logical thing to do. If I purchased a pregnancy test online, why not that? As many people have passed through here wanting to forget their past, and I assure you it's not as easy as you make it out to be. 1,000 things could have crossed her mind. Believing that it was no big deal. Maybe wishing her in her conscience that would happen. Yep, even the game knowledge that she did make a choice not to use protection. Ooh. And thought of it that way. There's something in that human being that is hard to understand, and it's the brain. These circumstances that we understand it the least. Before going on with what you were telling me, I met Seth for the first time. I wanted to ask you a question, Thomas. Why did you have Emily's house keys with you? That wasn't Emily's idea, it was mine. Emily didn't know you had a copy of her house keys with you? No. But Emily's things down to my apartment, she gave me her key. As we finished all that, she asked me to give it back to her. And back, I made a copy. Why did you do that, Thomas? I knew Emily didn't want me to do that, but I thought it was really important. Why? I was risking a lot for her, and it was important that if Seth showed up, I could be prepared. When I went upstairs and saw what was under that tile, not only the passport, I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to react to that either, not gonna lie though. I didn't notice you say anything special to me, Thomas. Emily had an addition to the gun and the passport with a name. Emma, much more. Those are the places I used to visit. Where will be the sites I recommended her, couldn't it? No. Well, it's true that I think we had talked about all of that. About the photos. Which is something that I didn't know she had taken. I think the worst. There's explanation for everything. And what about the bottles, though? She exaggerated a situation that was not that big of a deal. I mean, the problem is that why I wasn't in a box, so that makes me even more suspicious. But Emily was in love with you. She worked as a photographer. She could have been preparing a surprise for you. Or something you had agreed upon that she didn't remember. Remember that you were here because many of those memories are fuzzy. Memories you don't have sorted out. What could it be? At this point, I need you to tell me what happened that day. For everything you're here for. The real reason I'm helping you. How did you kill Seth? We killed Seth? Oh my gosh. The incident. Okay. Seth and I stood for a few seconds looking at each other. Completely still. Without saying anything. After a few moments, he decided to speak first. Oh, yeah. So I guess we screwed up on our own way. Are you still there? What do you want? I just told you this is my apartment. Who do you think lives here does not live here? Seth came close to me. Ah! Stranger danger! Step away! I could almost feel his breath on my face. Ew! But I don't know why. 10 feet away, please. I knew he didn't want to hurt me. I don't know who you're helping. Get away while you can. What? If you don't, I guarantee that you'll regret it sooner than later. Gaze was not that of someone who wanted to threaten me. I felt his words as honest advice. Even today, I found it hard to understand what happened at that time. I turned towards the door. I pulled Emily back, or Emma. Emma, just know that your little friend isn't going to distract me. Either you come out, or I'll have to make you. I don't think you want your new boyfriend to see you living in his apartment like that. At that moment, I tackled Seth. Whether it was because of anger or because of the way he was talking to Emily, I couldn't take it anymore. And Seth quickly managed to block me. I mean, he looked like he's like 10 feet tall, man. I didn't stand a chance against him. What are you doing? Stop it before you get hurt. I'll tell you again. It has nothing to do with you. But she's in the apartment though, so it kind of does have to do with him in a way. He patronized me and cashed with the aggressiveness he used to talk to Emily. After that, we began to hear the noise inside the apartment. Enough! Emily's shot echoed loudly in the hallway, and little by little we watched the door began to open. Well, I wonder if the neighbors can hear any of this. This must be the most intense situation they're hearing. So stop it. Thomas has nothing to do with all this. That's the name of your new little friend? You want to talk? Let's talk. Then you leave immediately. No, it's not as simple as that. Let's talk first. Seth came to my apartment. Oh my gosh, okay. And I went in after him. Emily led him into the living room and there. They started talking. What do you want to talk about, Emma? Everything that has already been said. No, you can't be here. I started a new life in the city. Emma is dead. Please let me go on with my life. Forget about me. That's not what you said when I met you. Just to distract him. Yeah, let's get together with Seth. I'm kidding. It's all begging, asking for help and money. I don't want your dirty money. I never cared how dirty it was to use it. Well, she does now. What do you want? Come back with you and look like a happy couple? I know perfectly well that if it were up to me, I'd have let you go long ago. You think your job was something you could quit overnight? It was not a social service job, was it? I was out of town for a while. I know exactly why. And when I managed to return, I found that you had abandoned everything. I couldn't take it anymore. It was not your decision. You want to forget me? Yeah. Go for it. Do you not want to see me ever again? Yeah. Pretty sure she doesn't want to. Perfect. But to question my word because of your games, even putting myself in danger, and everything that was going on during my time out of town, I'll not allow it. I'm not going with you. I'm not leaving. Decided to stay with Thomas. And that woman started to turn his head towards me. His look had changed. From what it looked like patronizing to look of disgust I had never felt in my life. Oh, Jesus. Thomas, isn't it? Yeah? I want to talk with you. Okay? What are you gonna say? Emma tried to stop him, but Seth refused. I want to talk to Thomas alone, Emma. No! No, don't leave me alone with him! I want everybody to be this calm, go to the bedroom and wait until we finish talking. Uh-oh. I tried to resist, but she realized the most selfish thing to do at the point was pay to play along. She grabbed my shoulder and led me in the kitchen and poured himself a glass of water. How do you feel knowing that will be the last glass of water in your life, Seth, huh? How did she convince you to live with you? Tell you she was ill? Seduce you enough to ask. She just seduced you enough for you to ask her. She was afraid of you. I went on the street a few months ago looking for her. Didn't want to be found. I believed her? I was a bad guy according to... What did she call her? Oh yes, Emily. I didn't know what to say. I was a direct witness. I knew what was going on. Seth wanted to take her against her will. Seth was the one who had been harassing Emily. It meant they had a lot of unanswered questions. But I don't know what happened between you and Emily. Next time, I don't care. Me neither, just get out of my house. I want to leave everything behind. Here. Why do you want to make this more complicated than it needs to be? Do you think I'm the one complicating everything? Every word that came out of Seth confused me more and more. I knew that Emily had a difficult life when she ran away. She received help from Seth in that park. But everything she had told me about Seth wasn't like that. Okay. Almost one question before we continue. Did Emily stay in the bedroom all that time? Did she go out to try to get Seth to leave? I admit, I am quite confused, but yes. In that moment, Emily came out of the bedroom. What do you want, Seth? What's your agenda? Must have been the one who had helped me without expecting anything in return. At all? Is that right, Thomas? Seth looked at me again. Challenging. I was racing for any word that may change his mind. However, the words never came. What do you want us to do, Seth? Leave your whole lives behind just to follow your whims? I don't care about your life. About mine. You think for a couple minutes of sympathy you already owe me? You decided to take part in my business. No, that wasn't free, and now that I can't trust you, even though I have given you everything you have, you betray me like that. When Seth grabs Emily's arm, forced her to go with him. Oh no! He walked through the door of an apartment while Emily was trying to get away from Seth. I don't know quite what to do and trying to release all the rage I felt inside of me. I got one word out of my mouth. Seth! Seth surprised quickly turned to me. The very moment as Seth had lost his focus, Emily managed to break free. Emily ran to the end of the corridor and went upstairs. You should have gone downstairs and outside of the apartment. What are you doing, woman? What have you done? Seth's rage was increasing by the minute. Without batting an eye, he decided to go after Emily. I went after them. Upstairs, Emily was knocking on Emily's apartment door. Seth was knocking on the apartment door. I don't know what you're doing. I know I'm protecting her from you. What? Emily is no helpless little princess. Emily knew exactly what she was getting into when she started working in my business. Well, she's not working for it anymore. How was I trying to say that? About it all the time. What is the important thing that Emily was doing that she can't give up? See, you don't know anything about Emma's past. What exactly did she tell you? What did she tell you about us on her job? Grabbing the gun. Oh no, yep, she's grabbing the gun. I'm pretty sure she's grabbing the gun. But enough to know that she's not exactly an angel. Trying to help other girls like her to move forward. Tell you how she did it? You know what she was doing to help them. What was she doing? I didn't know what to answer. I didn't want to hear a word Seth was telling me. How could I believe him? Emma helped girls like her, yes. Girls who want to be given substances to fix their lives. No! Is that why she had the drugs? No! Emily, why? Emma, you're incredibly urgent to describe your job. Honestly, I would never have thought that. No! I didn't even know what to say. Emily didn't even think the word. And did she tell you what she did with the money from the girl she was helping last time? How do you think she has been able to rent this apartment and survive all this time? Not here to bring a stupid drug dealer back to town. I'm here to take back what belongs to me. Not yours, Seth. Who says she belongs to me? Do you want to tell him, Emma, or would you prefer me to tell him? Oh, jeez. Each passing moment at every word Seth uttered, and at every sound from Emily or Emma. It made my whole world crumble, and in that desperation, I just wanted to know the truth. Tell me what? Emily fled town not because she was afraid of me. She knew perfectly well that she could have left me and I wouldn't have lifted a finger for her. She left the city because she stole a lot of money from... Oh, she stole money? How did you describe it, Emma? Yes, from the girls she helped. That's not the worst of it. She accused me of being responsible for it all in front of my own bosses. Bosses she met for me and whom I begged to give her a job. Oh no. At that very moment she opened the door. Oh no, she has a gun, doesn't she? Just for a moment. Emily knew that Seth had his back to her. Oh no! That he would be focused on talking to me. And that I would be paying attention to the door of her apartment. All this tea. I know, this tea! He could knock Seth out. I still don't know how. I went inside Emily's apartment and we left Seth outside. Are you alright, Thomas? Emily, is it true? I don't care what your name is, that's the least of it. But the girls about helping other girls, was that true? They told me a single truth since we met. I don't think so. Thomas, sorry. It's true that my name is Emma. I'd rather you didn't call me that. And it's true that I sold that for rich girls. Who cares if they're rich? You sold that to girls. But I was really trying to help them, Thomas. You know what I went through with my parents. I understood them better than anyone else. That's like the worst way to escape, though. Many asked me to sell to them, and others saw me in someone they could trust. Thanks to me, they knew what they were doing, and I even tried to make sure that whatever provided was your last choice. Emily! Emily, I don't know what to say. I want to believe you, but that is not much better than what Seth told me. Yeah, it's really not much better at all, if at all. It's only like, what, like 2% better. Some things are neither black nor white. I don't know. I never had to do horrible things to survive. Be able to find what I really love. Photography. You. Emily, please give a straight answer. Yes, stop lying to us. Say that. My heart at that moment did not know what to do. The day she pulled the gun. Now I felt that even though I was hearing something horrible from her own lips, I only feel that Emily had struggled to keep going. How could I judge her? What about the money? Seth told me that she has stolen a lot of money from your business. And I pinned that on him. The lies, Thomas. Are you lying? I don't know to trust anymore. If it were true, I would tell you now, just as I've told you everything. This does not deserve a good thing as well. Okay, I know Seth is also a terrible person, but you lied to me too, though. He's using me as a scapegoat in his boss's eyes. The same bosses that are looking for him to get their money back. That's why I left town. I knew that if he came back, he wanted to use me so that all the blame for his shitty business would fall on me. Who would they believe? To the newly arrived girl from a wealthy family who was barely making the sales they demanded? Or Seth, who had been by their side for a decade? His plan from the beginning was for me to take the fall. I'd seen Emily all the time. She did not wear expensive clothes. Her career was really modest. Yet her camera, which was almost a part of herself, was halfway between an amateur and a professional one. I judged her very easily, actually. Yeah. It's more like, yeah, you can't really judge her for the circumstance that led up to this, to make her making the decisions that she did. We can judge her for the stuff she did after. There's a stuff for all the bad decisions she made after she ran away from home. She has stolen so much money. Wouldn't I have seen it somewhere? Oh yes, it's really unfortunate that she had to run into Seth, though. Well, at least she met someone different, right? Wouldn't she have spent some of that money on herself? I believe you, Emily. Emily went from worried to smiling. Oh, that little moment of calm before the storm. Yes, I know that escalate really quickly after this. Because you're gonna kill Seth. What do we do now? Oh, plan. Yes, kill Seth, I'm assuming. She's taking out the metal. Immediately, Emily pulled a pistol from a waistband. The same one she pointed at me in the cafe. It's loaded this time. Are you going to kill him? Yes. There's no other choice. At the very moment, Seth managed to force the door open. My planned murder. Yes. God forbid a girl does anything. I support all women's rights and women's wrongs. You have one last chance, Emma. You have one last chance at life too, man. What is it, Thomas? What happened when Seth entered Emily's apartment? I remember how it all turned out, but we should have went with Kate. I know, we should have. It all turned out, but I can't recall exactly what happened at that time. There are times when you try to remember this. Tell me that you try to confess Seth in one way or another. You never disclosed any details. I think it might have started to be a bit clearer. I stood between Emily and Seth. I was knocked unconscious. Assuming this at this point, we're going to basically confirm. I'm saying this is that Emily kills him. This is that we kill him, right? I guess we'll just consistent with my first choice. Come with me. No one will get hurt. No, the one who will be getting hurt is you, permanently. So if you have a chance to, you know Emily wasn't the one who took the money. Oh, I see. You're already aware of the little princess's version. So who has it? Has the dog eaten it? Seth, if you screwed up on a boss assignment or your grade made you lose it, it's none of my business. No of the popcorn, then what? I know. What do you think the bosses will do when they see you with me? If they believe you, we'll still have the same problem. I was your responsibility in their eyes. Best thing you can do for both of us is disappear. Great timing. You're way ahead of me in that you already have a house and a husband. But for me, that's not enough. The moment Seth pounds Emily, I get in the middle, but he pushed me aside as if I meant nothing to him. I'm unconscious, but I could see everything going on around me. And sit just 3 feet away from her, and from him. Emma pointed the gun at Seth's head. Oh, I see the kitty's finally showing her claws. Seth, don't make me do this. I'm not making you do anything. When I arrived in the city, you were the only one who noticed me. Gave me a house, food, something to start fighting for. But I want to move forward. I want to live a normal life. Please leave. Leave me alone. What about my own dreams? Who cares about your dreams? What about my hopes? I don't. No one cares. I'm not going to let a bunch of nopings, which on top of everything I'm not responsible for losing. I wait everything I have fought for all this time. Do you think I care? No one cares but you. So it pounds on Emily. All of a sudden, a dry sound floods the room. She shot the gun! In the movies, you usually hear the gunshots a very different way, as if the sound lingered in your ear for only a few seconds. When a gunshot penetrates a man's body, the sound is really different. Even to this day, I can still hear a hissing sound after the sounds of the impact. Emily, how to do it, Thomas? Well, you still real for that? That's Blayani laying on the ground, lifeless, but was spinning around his chest. Well, can't say he didn't kind of deserve it, but I feel a bit sad that Emily was the one who had to do it, though. I'm very motionless. Willing the weapon that had ended Seth's life. GG's. Yeah, peace. His hopes and dreams dashed. That she could not get over what she had just done. Taking a person's life. A person who wanted to take hers. Someone who wanted to drag her to a fate that, in the worst case scenario, could cost her life. That's what Yeah. Oh, so we didn't kill Seth. Emily did. Yeah. He said he killed her instead. The other day, killing someone in any case. Mentally, it's the same. Thomas, for the first time, you had managed to tell me in detail how Seth died. So I guess Thomas thought that he was the so Thomas did say his memories were fuzzy, so maybe before he recounted the story, he thought he was actually did kill Thomas. But now that he corrected it, it was Emily that did it. I think we're making progress. Yes, I think I'm clearing memories too. Yeah, I think the main character was confused to really who did kill him. I think I'm ready, Noah. Are you sure? I also don't want to put pressure on you when we made so much progress. Yes. I think I'm ready to tell you how I killed Emily. Oh, he did say this in the beginning of the game. You don't look so well, Thomas. Do you want to stop for a while? Yes, that would be great. All that Seth corpse on the ground, I will never forget that. Small gunpowder still lingered in the air, blood flowing from the wound. I don't know how Kate and William thinks about all this, like how the friend that they got to know, like this happened to him all in one night, you know what I mean? Many people have the thought this practice looking for a way to forget similar situations, be able to move forward. Not going to lie, they're not easy memories for someone to assimilate. I knew that he deserved it. I knew that as long as he lived, he would be Emily's downfall. But deep down, I feel I had to save him somehow. Really? He was such a horrible... Okay, whatever. You thinking like that, as horrible as Seth was, just means you're human. I mean, I guess... Okay, the only thing I will say is that in the end, we didn't really know how much of what Seth and Emily were saying was the truth. So maybe that is a bit of his... I assume that is probably a bit reason why Thomas regrets it a bit, in that he doesn't know exactly how much of the truth that he truly knows, right? I know, but if you thought otherwise, it would be a clear symptom of psychopathy. But I wouldn't read too much into that, Thomas. Of course, you didn't want him to die, nor for him to be murdered. But because your instinct for human preservation prevails over any psychological disorder, you're right. If I keep looking for more answers, I'll end up going crazy. Even more so when the reason is more than clear. Aside from everything you've been telling me now, there are things I don't quite understand. The first is, why when you saw Seth didn't you call the police? That's what I was saying! I really don't know. I knew that after spending the morning with Kate, my cell phone had run out of battery. The moment I had to check my cell phone just before, and afterwards I ran out of power. Oh, well, okay. That's why I hadn't checked the cameras remotely either. That makes sense that you didn't look at the cameras from your cell phone before entering Emily's apartment, but... What happened, Thomas? It's true that there is something that prevents me from telling you why I didn't call the police. As I was justifying something I could have avoided. It wasn't exactly like that. Maybe you're still thinking about how you could have prevented Seth's death? I guess I don't know. The thing that really kept me from calling the police was that I didn't think it was necessary. Okay? Your cell had run out of battery, Thomas. How are we going to do it anyway? That's true. Although it was just a vague memory, I think the real reason is that I didn't feel it was necessary to call. I thought you could control the situation. You thought I could control a brick man? That you could convince Seth? I guess so. Although looking back, it may have been somewhat absurd. The truth is that although you didn't manage to convince him, you and Seth were talking quite a bit. More than I had imagined when I started learning about your case. At first, Seth was quite elusive, but as time went on, he just seems more interested in talking to me. Now kiss, no kidding. Do you believe everything he told you about Emily? Actually, I guess deep down I knew it. What do you mean? Emily had told me she had gotten her job because of Seth. That's why the second time we met, I insisted that she had to give it all up. No matter how much she denied it, it was clear that she was involved in something dirty. Did you know that Emily had been lying all that time? What else could she do? To tell me she was selling illegal substances to girls in upper-class neighborhoods? And she told me as much truth as she could tell me, ignoring many of the most important parts. Not to mention that it would be something her bosses would approve, not that I let her speak openly about his activities. When I heard about it, even though I was shocked, I began to doubt everything she had told me. I didn't want to blame her for all that either. It was not fair. What money? She supposed to steal all that money with her standard of living. I never believed that. It makes sense to you, did it? You got enough money to put Seth in danger. Wouldn't there be at least some women on something out of tune with her meager income? Well, this camera was old, maybe for a beginner who was just starting out as a professional. Who she was working with. I'd buy some parts myself to make it work a little better. But Seth had said made no sense at all. Sure, he just wanted you to take his side, yes, completely. In the end, seeing all of that, it would have been really easy for him to take Emily. Emily or Emma's relationship with Seth. But like, she still, at the end of the day, Emma lied to you though. Or she was lying to you from the beginning. I don't know. Whatever. Seth repeated quite a few times that he didn't care about Emily. What did you think of it all? Emily knew much more than she had told, obviously. And considering the past and the fact that she's so fresh herself. Yeah, basically. The biggest problem is that Emily just lies to us from the beginning and she never really stopped lying. That was the problem at the end of the day. But Emily knew Seth was looking for her, but not because of an obsession with her. Looking for her because he knew what had happened. And Emily, Seth had already been exiled from the city. She did with her activities, and now I understand why she didn't change her lifestyle. Most likely being watched, having every single movement tracked. It all has to make sense after all, yes. By putting the gun at me, I understand that she wanted to force things. Escape from all of that somehow. Now she moved to her friend's house and later on changed cities. Having started using another identity was truly helpful, yes. Emily in the end was still a victim who wanted to escape her own fate. No escapes, Thomas. What do you think Emily went straight up to her apartment when she was able to get away from Seth? She didn't directly go to the street. That's what I was saying. Why did she go outside? I feel like we're all going to yep, basically. Well, I guess technically in a therapy session, you're not supposed to demonize anyone. So, I guess technically it makes sense for them not to go too much into it. One should have been in a public space and still sit there doing something. That's what I was thinking. The thing I could think of, it was clear to me that the only option was how it all ended. Really? Like feeling that killing him would have been good? After all, what could the police have done for her? They have already failed her. Contacting the city, contacting the police in the old city, everything had been for nothing. Do you think that when she saw Seth, she already knew what to do? Yeah, I think so. It was very clear to me when I met Emily in the coffee shop. I won't say that she was too surprised. Yeah, I think she had resolved to kill him since she was carrying the gun before. One thing that makes sense to me right now. Then running to another city should eventually ended up the same way. Living in fear is not something I wish for anyone. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about her life. She had been arrested. She had killed a person. Who was going to look for Seth? Don't say it like that. Then has a criminal on police record. They got rid of the bullets in the streets. It's not like they were going to spend too much time on him. So, because it all ended so quickly. Yeah, I'm not going to demonize her either. Yeah. Because you can tell, because like, I'm not demonize her because you can see why she made the choices she did. which is very unfortunate because things could have played out differently. But yeah, doesn't stop the fact that she was apparently stalking us and following us from the beginning and all that stuff. So but also too the fact that she was stalking us technically. I don't know exactly what she had to do, but in just a moment she tried to pull the trigger. It was an understandable, rational thing to do. It still surprised me that she could do it. True. Thinking about killing someone and actually doing it are two different things. I think Emily's attitude was cold when she shot Seth. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. When Emily shot Seth, I didn't see the exact moment. I saw her moments later. Motionless, not knowing what to do. I did see a faint smile creep across her face, magically behind the last thing that tied to her past. I mean, I really sad that Seth died, though. The way he's portrayed in the story. The past that could cost her life, I know. Even so, it still doesn't seem what, Thomas, normal. Yeah, you don't really smile when you kill someone, just saying. I'm aware that I cannot put myself in Emily's shoes, but I mean, it was smiling from relief that he's dead, though, because he is a dangerous guy. I doubt that I could have killed someone and felt so free, no matter what I had achieved. You said yourself, it is complicated, if not impossible, to judge someone who had been through everything Emily went through. Yes, you're right. But then how did you kill Emily? Continue if you like where we left off, since this is the last moment we have to go over everything that happened. Okay, so we're at the ending. Tell me how finally, because of Seth's death. Look until you try it, Thomas. I guess so. But I mean, I know he did kill Emily though, so he does know how it's like to kill someone. I realized. I know what you told me from the beginning. You're responsible for Emily's death. Chapter 7: The Accident. It was a traffic accident, but Emily couldn't stop staring at Seth's corpse. I was still paralyzed because of the hit. Little by little, I was starting to recover. Got up and got close to Emily. Emily, are you okay? As if waking up from a dream, Emily blinked fast and looked at me. Yes, it's all over, Emily. Well, it seems. Let's sit down for a moment. Emily looked back at me, disoriented. Whispering, she could barely accept my suggestion. Yes. We went to the couch and calmly began to talk. You want to talk? No. Don't worry, Thomas. Maybe don't worry. The gun was still in her hands, clinging to it. And she had fused with it the moment she had pulled the trigger. And then she became the gun devil anyway. Did you want me to put the gun away? Yes, sorry. I don't remember that I still had it. Emma left the gun on the table next to the couch, and without warning got back to reality from the shock. Thomas, I had to think about what we're going to do. Neighbors must have heard the shot. Oh, they most definitely heard the shot. It won't be long until the police arrives. I think we should also call and tell the truth. Emma was blank, as if I had done something forbidden. As if I was condemning her. I'm not going to do that, Thomas. Get rid of the body. Oh. Emily! I confess that even now, I find it very hard to believe what happened. No one must know. But they heard the shot, though. The film instead of my own life. What are you talking about, Emily? What do you mean? You want us to hide everything and pretend nothing happened? Ah! Yes. Ah! That had destroyed my life once. Emma's life. Why should I let him destroy Emily's life now? An honest job, an apartment, a life attached from a past I don't want to remember. I understand why she's doing this, but still, I have you. I don't know if you have me. I'm just saying. Self-defense is a very good defense. Yeah, no, just admit that it was in self-defense. Oh, but then she'd probably have to admit how she knows Seth, though. Ugh! His lie just say that he's like a stalker thing. I don't know. I don't want my world turned upside down. Why don't you talk to the police? I knew this could happen. Actually, Thomas, the person I was talking to was not really a police officer. Oh my god, how much more lies did you tell me, woman? This is when it happens in your own home. Yeah, I know. I sat down at that time. The passion of the day, it was a moment I wanted to forget forever. Emily! You've been lying to me when you said you were talking to the police? Not exactly. Since Seth left, I've been talking to one of my contacts at police headquarters. A contact from my old job. Okay. Did you ever tell me the truth, woman? Exactly! He is the policeman I told him about my situation. He was the one who updated me on what was going on with Seth. The relationship with my former bosses was the one who told me that if he knew anything, he would let me know. Let the music stop. Imagine how you must have felt listening to Emily. You should really go with a Kate, not gonna lie. You might have lost Kate when Emily was pregnant, I'm not gonna lie. Sorry. I guess time heals everything. Does it? Oh, I guess. Now that I'm living all of it again, it helps me get through it. So you helped her. I hesitated a lot. I didn't know what to do. Yeah, maybe I should have a pregnancy too, I don't know. Didn't you... I don't... Like, why did you even try this point about her? Don't you remember what happened? Everything's so confusing. I think I do remember what happened. I wanted her to talk to the police. Oh, I forgot to, do the choice thing there. Oh well. You trusted me. You've been living in my house. I haven't even put myself in danger because of you. Yes, exactly. If you're gonna put someone in danger, you should tell them the full truth. And now you tell me all this. I don't know what to say. It'll get even more complicated if you go on like this. Do you want to be a fugitive all your life? Exactly. You drag me with you? Thomas, you don't know what I've been through. Just say it's self-defense and lie and just say that you were a drug dealer or whatever and that Thomas was just Steph was just your stalker. I think that's the best way to go about things. You have no right to lecture me on what is right and what's wrong. That's true. I don't intend to lecture you. You're asking me to help you. You can't even say it. You're both in this. We're both in on this, Thomas. What do you mean you're both in on this? You're the one who shot him, and you're the one who lied to me. Does it matter with you? Distracting me with it. Exactly. Hey, Porenko. To protect both of us. I listen to yourself, Emily, but what do you expect me to do? The police showed up in a few minutes to confess that I killed Seth. They used to sell drugs. You don't have to mention that part. The alternative is to be on the run your own life, Emily. Thomas, I'm sorry. I know it's not fair to involve you in all this. What are you going to do? Don't let all this destroy me. I have to go, Thomas. Ellie, the police come tell them what happened. The gun doesn't have your fingerprints on it. You don't have any gun power residue. You need to tell them everything. Exactly. Don't tell it. Just lie. Just omit the truth here and there. Tell them what you know. I'll be long gone. Are you sure this is what you want? I think so. Thank you for all your help, really. The moment we looked at each other for a few seconds, I understood what Emily wanted to do. I could not destroy my life for all that. I wish you the very best, Emily. I'll call the police in 10 minutes. Bit of luck, you'll have about 30 minutes until they get there. I'll get here. I'll miss you. I went down to my apartment, waiting for those minutes to go by before. Do you think Kate and William would have expected all this to happen within 24 hours? Leaving all of that behind. I sat on the couch in my apartment. Why is she smiling? Because she's smiling because she's saying goodbye to her love. That's why she's smiling. It's more of a wistful smile. First time I talked to find my cell phone. I charged it incredibly quickly. The cell phone started ringing. It was Kate. Thomas, I've been calling you but didn't answer. Something happened? A lot of things happened, lady. I want to know how it went with Emily. Everything that happened, I had completely forgotten that I had seen Kate in the morning. I think about a problem like that. Now directly I stopped making sense. I'm fine, Kate. Everything's fine as my apartment is on fire like that one meme. Just... At that moment, I realized something Kate had reminded me of. Emily. Baby. Sorry, Kate, I had to... Yes, she is pregnant. Of course. I ran out of my apartment up the stairs. She's gone, obviously. I banged Emily's door, desperate. Emily, it's me. Emily opened the door. Oh no, she's still here. With caution. She didn't want to open it completely. My desperation made me rush into her apartment. What is it, Thomas? You don't have much time. I was with Emily, I was reminded that hours before she turned my life upside down. In any case, leave the baby behind. Emily, what about the baby? Barely speak. The adrenaline, the feeling that at any moment everything would be over. Emily knew exactly what I was talking about. I have no choice, Thomas. I'm going to have it. For a few seconds we didn't know what to say. But before I could say anything, I took the lead. What do you want me to do? Have it in jail? Because I don't have much time left. You could hide, tell me where you'll be. You'll to meet him or her, help in everything. Once you give up your life, you know it'll be dangerous. You become an accomplice, a fugitive. You both know that. You don't want that. Let alone knowing how you feel about Kate. I want to be a part of the baby's life, Emily. To give up mine? Freedom? All because of him. I pointed to Seth's lifeless body. Our eyes met for a brief moment. And just like that, I knew there was nothing I could do. At that moment, I don't know what came over me. I started yelling at her. Emily, I will not allow you to drag my child into a life like yours. I don't care how much you have suffered. This goes beyond what's between you and Seth. But a new life which does not deserve your past. Or your mistakes. Emily's gaze was chasing with each one I yelled at her. Her content little by little turned to rage. Finally, impotence. Sorry, Thomas, the decision has been made. Emily grabbed her backpack while she was packing and ran up the stairs. I started running after her. Now I couldn't let her leave. Out the block of buildings now, she was crossing the road. Oh, this is how she died. No! Got her arm in the middle of the roadway. Only an instant, but that instant. Enough so that finally, was hit by a car. Thomas! Not my intention, but whether out of selfishness, if it was for anything else, it had simply let her go. Not Emily and the baby could have survived. Her body lay lifeless on the roadway and motionless, knowing that everything she suffered up to now, the end, had been in vain. Ah! Although, what was it, Thomas? I think... Did something different happen? Noah, I think... Are you alright, Thomas? Do you want to rest? Not okay, but I'm starting to remember everything now. What? But Emily who suffered the accident, the person who suffered the accident, was me! What? True, Noah. Wait, doesn't that mean she's alive? Please, am I going crazy? Over and over, Noah. You're right, Thomas. You suffered the accident. What? I remember. I have a headache. What were you doing to me, Noah? Why did I remember all that? Why was it justifying everything Emily did to me? I knew there was a twist about the dream stuff. As I mentioned in the beginning, Thomas, you're the one who chose to forget everything. Little by little, I began to remember everything. Why I was there. The moment I realized it had not gone as I had planned. True that I had met Emily, but it hadn't been the way I had been telling Noah. I met Emily at a coffee shop, although it wasn't as serendipitous as I first imagined. Although her absent-mindedness and showed me the gun she carried in her purse alarmed me. I had not asked to work remotely because of Emily. In those days, I was already looking for a way to move close to Kate. Something that, in our very first conversation, I had told her. A month later, I ran into her buying a Brand Sanders book. New coincidence. Although on the day I met the real Emily, and Emily I tried to convince I wanted nothing to do with her. And Emily who ended up shooting me in a nearby alley in a fit of rage. What? That's how I met James, the police officer in the case. What? Excuse me? Because earlier, a small-time dealer had been found in a nightclub riddled with bullets. Ballistics confirmed that both the shots fired by the dealer and the one I had received were shots from the same weapon. What? What is this inception level? The dealer's name was Seth. I told her that they knew her responsible, a certain Emily, but that it would be difficult to arrest her if I did not cooperate with them. Emma had been obsessed with me, just as she apparently been obsessed with Seth. So it's true that Emma was a stalker, though. That part is true. There are pictures of me all over the place in her old apartment. The computer had documents of the places where I ate and the place I used to drink. Okay, so that part is true. Emily, or Emma, knew everything about me. She had become obsessed with me. The worst part is that I didn't know why. Is this the reason I had to play the other rounds to understand what happened? I finally refused the police officer's proposal. I wanted to forget the whole thing. He said I was about to move in with my girlfriend. With Kate. Wait, is Kate alive or is she dead? But everything changed when I discovered Emily in the apartment above mine in the new city. I found out she had been boycotting the apartments Kate and William were going to see, pushing them to finally end up renting the one she had planned earlier. When I first saw her, I didn't know what to do. I went down to the apartment, told Kate and William, and quickly called Officer James, one who had handled the whole case. They said that they could not arrest her yet. They didn't have enough evidence to accuse her of everything she had done. What is this? This twist, I ended up collaborating and approached her. She was obsessed with me and they needed me to gain her trust. That way I could get into her apartment and find the evidence I need. But all that took a toll on us, me and Kate. At night of the move, one of the police officers invited Emily to dinner. I knew she was a bad person. She was a bad person! But we didn't imagine that she would slip sleeping pills into our drinks. And so finally to make me believe that I had spent the night with her, well, thanks to the fact I left my cell phone recorder on all night in my room. I found out that it was a lie. Even so, my shit with Kate gradually worsened. No, I feel bad for Kate now in all of this. The day I told her that Emily had told me she was pregnant, it was not easy for Kate. Police had tapped all of Emily's communications. If Emily had said anything to me, I already knew that she had bought a positive predictor on shady internet forums. Even though it wasn't true, it had pushing Kate and me farther and farther apart. No! Finally, I had a chance to get into Emily's house, as I knew she kept a key in the hallway in case she lost hers. I went inside and found a box where she kept all the evidence. Most importantly, the gun that linked her to Seth's death and to the gunshot I had received. I called James quickly. In less than half an hour, James arrived at Emily's apartment. He told me not to go up to Emily's apartment for any reason, and he died! He had a gun and felt cornered. We knew she would not hesitate to use it. But when James arrived, everything went wrong and Emily killed him at point blank range. Ah! I heard the gunshot. Okay, now I feel bad for being mean to Seth. Okay, when I heard the gunshot, I rushed to the apartment disobeying James' orders. Emily with a gun in her hand and James' lifeless body on the ground. I reasoned with Emily, but after a few seconds, Emily apologized to me and started to raise the gun to shoot me. We ran down the hallway. Emily's bullets whistled around me. A taste of it, I know, but fate is cruel. While crossing the road, I saw Emily. I knew everything was lost. I begged her not to shoot. But finally, a car with a distracted driver ended up running me over. That's when I had the accident left me bedridden. Is Emily still alive then, with only possibility being to move the eyes? What? Noah, we have already noticed. Treatment had not worked. You want to wake up? Hi, hello! Yes, I need to rest for a while. Muscles gradually went numb. I feel so bad for the main character and Kate. Oh my gosh! Emily! Ruined everything! I could barely move my eyes. The only thing I could feel was Kate next to me. Thomas, don't worry. Don't try to talk. I realize you're not in the simulation with Noah now. Noah didn't go the way we thought it would, but don't worry, we'll try again tomorrow. I love you, Thomas. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I know you want to tell me to play both routes. Okay. Every single moment of life is important to us. An imprint whose memory leaves an indelible mark, and for those whom the past is everything. We need a good ending. I don't know if that ending is even a good ending. Let them suffer when there's a solution. Remind us of technology that proposes something very simple. Modify memory as much as possible so the patient can achieve the desired results. Offer terminally ill patients a solution so they can live their last moments as they would have wanted. How does it work? So Noah was not a psychologist. She's similar to the people from To the Moon, actually. I just realized it's similar to the Moon, where they use a machine to modify the memories or help you remember your memories. Whoa! If I missed the whole thing, what happened? A lot of things happened. I don't know how to explain it. She's from the two universe. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Not possible to modify the mind at will. If your patient doesn't undergo a cognitive assimilation process, we will start from the original memory that caused the treatment and we will work from the point. So, wanna know what happened? Long story short, we were in a simulation dream similar to the game The Moon, where instead of changing memories in this one, it was to help remember the memories of what really happened. Thomas, because he's actually a terminally ill guy who got into a really bad tragic accident after this girl who was essentially yandere tried to kill him, and herself probably, after she killed a police officer that was trying to stop her. And after she was stalking him and obsessing over with him for months. So yeah, that's actually the true story. We deliver strong moments in a happy dream when we pulled the dangerous baddie, I know. To start from the original memory that caused treatment, we will work from that point. Thanks to Remind Cognitive Recognition AI, Noah will be guided by the patient's memories. Thus, their memories will be modified enough so the desired end can be reached. I want to emphasize the following concept: not erase or modify memories at will. The mind quickly detects when such radical actions are taken and the system is destabilized. Through the Remind treatment, we let the patient, together with our guide, Noah, choose to substitute memories. Memories that, although different from the original ones, are sufficiently truthful, believable for the patient's subconscious. Be able to assimilate all the induced memories and assume them as true. Once the first phase, cognitive assimilation with sensitive memories, is over, we move on to the second phase. I want to live with Kate. Well, we did, but Emily happened. The patient would be plunged into an induced coma and his mind would be linked to the Remind servers. Then they would continue to live out their last days as they had chosen before treatment. Remind a life with you. You want to start treatment? Remembering Emily. It should be remembering Thomas. Okay, this is the ending. Yes, that game was good! So many twists that I didn't expect. You can consult and cover it up with all game files. Revision the game with a review. Thanks for playing. I will definitely leave a review. That was really good. Remember, okay, the game really went. Okay, after every single chapter, the game went on a twist where I was like, I don't know what to expect, but like, I don't know. The ending was a good way. So what is the correct ending? So the true ending is that everything is a simulation, and that Emily is a true antagonist all along. Seth was actually a police officer named James who died. that did happen, and then Emily tried to kill us afterwards, and then we ran, and then instead of Emily getting the accident, it was us. So what happened was that the substitute memories was essentially the same thing that happened, except it was just substituting characters in different positions to help Thomas remember what truly happened. Yeah, so similar to Trace Memories / To the Moon, where there's a machine that modifies your memories. And except this one is more similar to The Moon though, because it's with terminal patients. I believe in Trace Memory it was for PTSD. I think, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I played the game. I played that game many times. I'm talking more about the remake version, but yeah, it was good though. Can I say that William wasn't big bad all along? Yeah, William didn't really end up mattering that much overall, but I just feel so bad for Kate and Thomas. Like, dang, Emily just messed up their lives like crazy. I didn't realize. Okay, I guess I should have realized that there was some type of simulation dream thing going on, because that's how the game started off with, like saying like they're talking about like dream stuff and like how everything wasn't really real or something. So I kind of assumed in the back of my mind that maybe some stuff wasn't real, or some of the memories was like not really how it happened. But yeah, oh, that was good. I liked it. Now I feel like I need to play second half, or the other routes, which I think is mostly the same except for the choices you make. And relationship with Emily is different, so instead of a good relationship, it'd be a bad relationship, I guess. I mean, I know it's a pretty unusual name, but who knows? Yeah. So, and ending Noah's an AI. That's supposed to help us remember, which we did. Yeah. It was good. I feel so bad for Kate though. The guy she loved is dead, essentially, because he's technically terminal or something. So, yeah. And that was good. It was not what I expected at all going into this game. I didn't really I read a little bit about the game, the summary and stuff. Okay, because summary of the game. Maybe the summary of the game. It does not really. It does not really give away at all what the actual story is. Here. It says here. Remembering Emily's plot. Relieve Thomas's memories in this short visual novel filled with mystery. What really happened to Emily? Make choices, explore different versions of events, discover 2 complementary endings that reveal the whole truth. Yeah, so there is another ending that we can play. I don't know if I have time today to play it though, but we could. But if we have time, maybe I'll play another day, or maybe you guys should buy it and play it. If you really want to see what happens. That was like crazy though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll come back and play second half of the game and see what the true ending is. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Now see you guys next time, okay?